Hello everyone, and welcome to another Monster Hunter World live stream. We are in the countdown for the launch of Iceborne, right? We're going to have, 5 weeks of the festivals. We're starting with the Spring Festival. That's why the thumbnail has those pretty flowers, right? We're going to be moving through all the festivals, and then we will have a final week. I believe the Appreciation Festival is in there as well. That's why we have 5 weeks, not 4. And then Iceborne launches. So what we'll be doing from the beginning of all these festivals to the end is I will be rotating through all of the consoles, probably day by day. So like Xbox gets a day, PlayStation gets a day, PC gets a day, and then I'll probably join up and let you guys post your quests. I'll be joining them, and I'll just be practicing with my favorite weapons. On the PC, we'll probably host some special Call of Terroth sessions, so we'll probably have that later on. I don't know if we'll be doing that today, though, okay? Let's go ahead and get started. So you'll notice in the thumbnail also that I have a heavy bowgun. And that means we're going to be using heavy bowguns today, pretty exclusively. Heavy bowgun, by the way, is my most used weapon. And I've been trying to get practice with all of the weapons so that I can give advice for all of them. But I do actually still love the heavy bowgun a lot. So, something I've been really bad about are my builds over here. So you get 14 pages of builds, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. You get 8 rows per column, I guess you could say, per page. 8 rows per page. And all of my pages are awful. I have no idea what goes on in here. I really do not. What I should probably be doing is taking each page and using it for each weapon. I should probably be doing that. One of the things is, though, the first page, I always have these like temp, because I do special builds, and I just want temp builds on each page. But maybe what I should be doing is each page should have temp, and then a few good builds down here, you know what I mean? Maybe I should be doing something like that. I don't know. I always run out of room, don't I? We do all. It's because of my job on YouTube. I make all these crazy builds, like budget builds, Call of Terroth builds, and really, I don't have enough slots for them all, so it's always it's always a mess. Let's see. I believe this is my first page for whatever it is I'm working on at the time. I have my suicide build here. Temp 4, huh? Let's rename that real fast. Should be Temp 3. Oh god, it's still not like the other ones. There we go, temp 3. Alright, temp 1, 2, 3. Alright. This, of course, is for committing seppuku. This is a forager build. A luck build, huh? I don't see myself ever using that. I really don't. Luck build, huh? Great luck. And then this, why don't we rename this to Temp 4? I know what you guys come here for. You come here to watch me organize. Alright, Forager, Luck. Actually, this should be coming underneath that as well. We could probably rename this as Fortify, actually. There we go. Xbox keyboard's not that bad. Alright. Join me, Greatest Jagras Quest. I don't think I will be on Xbox. I've already got all the Greatest Jagras decorations I could use. And besides this, I actually prefer the names Lavasiath for farming decorations in the first place. So I actually recommend Lavasiath, not Jagras. Alright, and then I think these are just a bunch of builds here. And I don't give them names or anything. It's funny, giving them special names actually made them harder to use somehow. I don't know why. All right, there we go. Look at that. It's almost like resetting your icons. So let's see what people posted. There should be people in here now, right? Yeah, we're filling up. See if we got any quests. Join quest. Available quests. No quests have been posted. Okay, we'll keep working then. So, when it comes to heavy bowguns, you really do have to have a Dark Devourer build. There it is, Dark Devourer. That's good. Oops. Let's name this heavy bowgun. I did this right when I started playing the game, and it kind of worked, this system. So these will all be heavy bowgun builds underneath it. What do you guys think? Think this will work? Alright. And we got, oops. We'll start off with this Dark Devourer build, actually. That'll be our first fight. How's it go? Health boost, free element ammo up, slugger, artillery, guard, divine blessing, special ammo boost, guard up. So this is a sticky ammo build, and it's got a lot of defense. Let's look over this as well. We probably don't need Nullberry. We probably don't need this either. Actually, I know we don't need it because we don't have 10 barrel bombs. Or we don't have, move this over here like this. Let's move this over here like this. So there's large barrel, mega barrel. You actually need these guys as well. So for a full barrel bomb loadout, you need that. The question is, should my Dark Devourer build have a mega barrel bomb loadout? I don't think it needs it. So we're going to drop these. I think putting the monster to sleep twice is actually enough, in which case we can drop the gunpowder, and we can drop most of these. So this will allow us to craft 2 more mega barrel bombs. I like to carry only 3 of these, and only 1 of these. Oops, hold on. Oops. There we go. And then besides that, we actually also need demon powder. Where is it? Where's my demon powder? There it is. Alright. 133. This makes sense. We got this empty spot up here, huh? I don't care. I know it's not perfect. Oops. I know it's not perfect. Probably sleep herb. So that's 10 more shots of sleep, actually. Trank is fine. We can actually also have a trap in here. Slice ammo's not really necessary. Let's see what people have posted now. Like a moth to the flame and contract Woodland Spirit. We'll join Xeno'jiiva starting out. Why not? Let's go ahead and save this item loadout. We'll come back to that. We need to change our build at this point, though. There's the horn. Support. Alright, there's the support. Go to manage items. For those of you who have been watching me for a while, you're aware that my most used weapon in the game is actually the heavy bowgun. It's not the hammer. A lot of people think that I'm like a hammer main, but actually I use the heavy bowgun more than the hammer, and I think after thinking about it for a little while, I do think that I am actually I do think I'm a heavy bowgun main. You just don't see me use it as much lately because I'm trying to learn the other weapons better. But this is my most used weapon. How do I say your name? Is it Mish? Mike? He says, will you be playing PlayStation 4 today? I'll probably be doing PlayStation tomorrow. Yeah, probably be doing a PlayStation tomorrow. Let's go with the veggie platter. Vampy says he's tired. Let's see what everyone's bringing. Codename has Wyvern Ignition Impact Greysword. Oh, what's he got? Well, his build's kind of all over the place, but he has health boost. Estraza with Diablos Tyrannus. You don't need the Effluvia resist. And Ninja Oof with Anja Arch. I don't think I would use the Anja Arch on Xeno'jiiva. I'd probably use an Ice Bow or a what's the other one? Ice or wow, it's been a while. A Water Bow. One or the other. Ice Bow or Water Bow. Woo! Xeno'jiiva with any Pierce Heavy Bowgun. That's right. That's right. He's gonna get riggedy wrecked. Man, I feel like listening to a little bit of music today. Arch-Tempered Xeno'jiiva has been kicking my butt. Nothing really says, just wait for countless attempts of Gameconomist trying to solo Extreme Behemoth in the future until Iceborne comes out. I might get back to that. I might just, it depends. It depends. I think I was getting kind of close with defeating him last time, but now that it's been like a week, it's like, I'm not ready. I'm not prepared to go right back into it. Don't do PlayStation 4 tomorrow. I've got an 11-hour shift at work. Oh, sorry, Austin. Alright, guys. So if we could all ready up. Probably people up changing their builds. Probably what it is. Oh, that's the same. Oh, there we go. Legia Snow Fletcher. Sweet. And the reason for that is because you actually get a better hit zone. Whoa.
Excited to see you stream for your dental dues.
Thank you for supporting my dentist. Isn't that funny? First we have a snack fund, and then we have a dentist fund. It makes actually perfect sense. All right. Thank you, Anthony. We're just waiting on Astroza. Come on, guys, we're live. You gotta have some builds ready. I understand a few minutes, but you can't take too long because we gotta get going. Oh, there you go. Left the quest. I didn't leave the quest. What happened? Oh no, we waited all that time. Oh no. What? That's no good. We got Royal Pain, Midnight Mayhem, like a moth to the flame. Can I still join these guys? Is this the same? Yeah, it's the same group. Alright, I'm in. I don't know what happened there. That's so weird. Oh, you know what he probably did? He probably started without me. That's probably what happened. That's probably what happened. No problem. I'm back in. We'll just be 20 seconds late. 30 minutes late. It's a big difference. I'd love to see you gone with Insect Glaive instead of Heavy Bowgun, but I suck with that setup against him. Glaive is awesome on Arch-Tempered Xeno'jiiva. It certainly is. If I was going to recommend a really good weapon against Arch-Tempered Xeno'jiiva, it would probably be Pierce Bowgun, Spread Bowgun, Elemental Bowgun, Insect Glaive, and then after that, probably Longsword and Charge Blade. Those are all really good options. All really good matchups. Not all weapons have a good matchup against Arch-Tempered Xeno'jiiva. For example, I feel that the dual blades actually who has trouble. I think the hammer definitely has trouble. Hammers, it takes so much skill to actually hit his head. It's ridiculous. Oh, Astroza and Ninja almost died there. Hopefully we don't die. What do we got? We got Temporal Mantle. Oh, why did I just use it? I should have been saving it. Alright, we don't do that much damage at the start. We actually need, Yeah, that's not actually that much damage. And it's because he's not in his crazy stage yet. Luckily, Codename had his Rocksteady on there. I'm about to be interrupted. Brr, brr. Shut up, Xeno'jiiva. We don't want to hear that. Think we want to hear that? You know what? I should start with this so that it's recharging while I'm using the Wyvern ammo. There we go. Good damage. Very important that we get the good damage. Turn that off. Oh, we do have health regen. Interesting. Oh, we're about to die. There we go. Crazy. Crazy the way that works. Oh no, man, we're gonna be dead. Oh man, that hot floor is ridiculous. No wonder I have a fireproof mantle on this loadout. Just to deal with that hot floor. So now with the fireproof mantle, I can't be fire blighted. See, I ran right over that. Easy. Go ahead and reload. Ever heard of playing for fun? This is not allowed. Alright, he's in crazy mode. Let's go ahead with the pierce ammo now. Can't remember how much we deal to the chest. 700? We gotta deal like 700 and then he topples. Something like that. We lost Ninja Oof! No, Ninja Oof! Ree! Shut up. His roar. Oh, this is gonna kill me. I'm good. Uh-oh, here it comes. Oops. We're still good on our mantle. Uh-oh, we got one life left, people. Run! Ree! Oh, he popped me with his hand there. Come on, guys, get damage on the chest. You gotta damage the chest. That's the trick to this stage. That's why you brought the ice bow. You brought the ice bow to deal high damage to the chest. Oh my god, it's over. I'm dead. Alright. Well, that was sad. And you could see that my character did not have health boost, and I had full health. What do you think that means, guys? It means bring your freaking health boost. Oh, no. This is why I started bringing health boost all the time, because you can't do that. You can't skip it. Alright. Well, that was a fun experiment. Wow, we all died so fast. It's crazy. Any suggestion on how to beat HR 49 Tempered Kieran? HR 49 Tempered Kieran. Bring health boost. Bring health boost. Also, you know, if you bring the Kieran chestplate, not Kieran, the Kultaroth chestplate beta, gives you stun resist. Stun resist is real good because you're going to spend a lot of time with the Thunder Blight probably. Lightning Blight, whatever it's called. Alright, so now we know. Now we know. That was such a dumb build. Didn't have health boost. One-shotted. Oh, you don't need health boost. Oh, full damage, blah, blah, blah. It's like, that's great if you're speedrunning all by yourself and you know the flinch values on the monster and you're just going to keep that monster staggered the whole time, I guess. It's not so good on anything else. Alright, guys, this is going to be a much better build. Watch this. See, I'm older. I'm more experienced now. A year has gone by. That was an old build, right? That was an old build. We're going to get a good build now. So look at this. Awakening Charm is going to be over here. We have this new Nergigante mail. We didn't have that before. Emperor's Crown, no. And then this spine is actually going to be... Well, that's actually an interesting thought. Emperor's Coil Gamma, huh? Rank this by rarity real fast. Kraken Coil, Emperor's Coil, Emperor's Coil. Come on. Come on. Show me what I want to see. Here it is. Cove Malice. Senjiva Claws. Ha ha ha. No. Probably this guy. Well, attack boost is garbage, so I don't know if I want that attack boost. Wide range, don't really need it. I don't need it. I need it. Dragon attack, agitator, evade extender, wide range, focus, flinch free. Yeah, we'll take the Draken. That's fine. And then for the helmet, for my next trick, this is certainly an option, but also this is an option. Can someone link the code TK the game? What's he talking about? Alright, actually we wouldn't use Terrath the Salt support either. We would use the water Bogan. So let's go ahead and jump over to Heavy Bogan. Dark Devourer, Terrath the Salt Horn. That's why we're doing Heavy Bogans today. So here's Kiara Salt Water. The best Pierce Bogan in the game. And we want this to be Release. And then we want this to be Pierce. Alright, very important, those two. Let's go ahead and build up our Vitality real fast. Because guess what? We're not playing without Vitality. That would be diggity dumb. Diggity dumb? Now how are we looking? We're at 41% affinity. It looks like what I could do is go release, release, because I'm rich, so I have release, release, release. I'm rich. Rich kid check, and then we're gonna jump over here and actually take Divine Blessing. What do you think of that? Wow. It's like being OP. Oh, he's so OP. Oh, kind of makes the Draken Van Braces redundant. We don't need the extra bit of affinity. Let's take a different one. Guard, Weakness Exploit. Wide range is tempting. I do like helping my teammates, believe it or not. This is also tempting. 2 Agitator and Evade Extender. I like that. Evade Extender on my Heavy Bogan. You know, it's not too bad. It's not too shabby. Alright. We're going to go ahead and finish off Crit Boost. Very important. Alright, so we have Crit Boost, Weakness Exploit, Agitator 4. What are we going to put right here? Could be Fire Resist. Let's see what we have for our Elemental Resistances. -9 on Dragon. That's not good. We're not worried about the Hot Floor anymore. We have Heat Guard. So we're going to go ahead with the Dragon Resist. So Dragon Resist. There we go. Dragon is -3 now. That's a little bit better. That's just a little bit better. We could actually get all the Dragon Resist we need, actually. Well, we deal raw damage, so Dragon Blight isn't actually too big of a deal. Yeah, we'll keep Divine Blessing, I think. Thinking about it. Okay, let's see our affinity again. 35%. That means we're getting 85% affinity with Crit Boost 3. And we have Agitator 4. Right, let me show you that Agitator. We'll do it here. Agitator 4 is going to kick in from time to time and give us another 12% affinity and 16 attack. Right? That's nice. That's nice. I like that. Alright. So we're going to go ahead and save this build. We don't have Spare Shot anymore. We really gave up Spare Shot. Bye, Kiara Strong Arm Ice. You're out of here. So we got Kiara Salt Water, Dark Devourer. Alright, and what we're going to do, we're going to repost this Energy, I think. Unless somebody already has it up, we'll check. No, they don't. So let's go ahead and post. We're going to post Energiva. We're going to show off this build now. Keeper, oh, nope, not that one. Like a moth to the flame. So this should go much, 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 much better, in my opinion. Halfdan. Halfdan. No, we need Halfdan. Estraza. Ooh, that lag though. Elementless. Does Elementless work on this weapon? I don't think it does. I'm pretty sure Elementless does not work on this weapon. It has water ammo. It doesn't work on this weapon. Would you recommend doing Arch-Tempered Cove in order to get the possibly remaining good weapons, even though we're so close to Monster Hunter World Iceborne release? Probably not. Not if you're on the consoles. If you're on the PC, I would do Cove on the PC. We don't really know what we're going to get with Cove. Are you planning to do Arch-Tempered Kolv Taroth today? No, I'm going to be helping players on the Xbox, and we will not be doing Kolv. Because I believe Kolv is about to be super redundant and pointless. Once again, we're going to go with the Elemental Resist Large. We have Diablos Tyrannus with 1 health boost. You guys, if you were watching the stream, you saw me got one-shotted. Why would you not bring health boost at this point? Codename with Wyvern Ignition Impact. It's a pretty good build. He went with, well, you're missing Crit Boost 3. I would say Crit Boost 3 is pretty valuable. He might not have the decoration. Lucas has True Gate Bulge. True Gate Bulge is going to do extremely well against Arch-Tempered Zenjiva, so he's going to do fine. And I think I'm going to do extremely well as well. The Pierce Ammo Bowguns do just super duper duper well. So does Spread, by the way. You don't have to just use Pierce. Spread does really well against Zenjiva too. Just depends on how you want to play. I actually think I liked the way Spread feels when Zenjiva's not, when Zenjiva isn't in his powered up state. I like the way Spread feels. The advantage to Pierce is you can kind of stay further away, not have to deal with as many tremors in a lot of cases, but you don't do as much damage as Spread. Spread technically does more damage, just to let you know. All right. Bruce Paddock says, is it worth getting Gamma Zora armor? So this is a question a lot of people are asking. My answer is probably not. See, I don't actually know. Nobody really knows what's going to happen when Iceborne comes out. But when we played the demo, the defense level on the new gear, and the new gear looked like easy to obtain gear, it looked like the defense ratings were much higher. So you could probably guess that all of our old armor and weapons are going to become immediately obsolete when Iceborne launches. They might not do that though. It's hard to tell. Nobody really knows yet. Nobody really knows. Nobody knows. What does a Gunlance user got to do to get a guard decoration around here? You have to suck a popsicle. Let's get a demon drug going. Demon drug. And we'll take a my seed. Should have demon powder as well. This is an old item loadout where I didn't understand how important that stuff was. Let's go ahead and load our special ammo. Start using oh right, we can't use poison yet. Alright, so you can't dodge his roar because it lasts too long. I think I might go for the tail. You should have gone for the head. Snap. Oh my god. He moves so much, man. He's this giant monster, and when he moves... Oh god. Whee! Agitators activated. We're gonna roll away from that. We don't want to be part of that. Let someone else be part of that, not us. A little damage bonus from Agitator. We have affinity bonus too. Don't forget that. Alright, so we're not that effective in when he's not in his powered up state, and that's because he has different... I'm gonna get hit by that, aren't I? Yep, I did. Let's go ahead and take this off. We're gonna go ahead and eat a max potion. Pierce ammo, you'll notice it doesn't really work through his chest the same way, so it's hard to get good damage on him. See, his hit zone... Oh man, that's close. His hit zone values change when he powers up. We can shoot him in the tail. Tail's a nice spot. Yeah, tail will give us good damage. And really, you know, what I was saying with the... he's really trying. What I was saying about the spread ammo is spread actually does pretty well in this stage because it can focus on one hit zone and not have to pierce through things to get its damage. Come on, man, lower your tail a bit. Yeah, that's annoying. Oh, he was making me nervous with that. Let's go in with the Wyvern ammo. The Wyvern ammo is an explosive damage type. You can use it anywhere. Poor Estraza. Oh good, we had feline insurance. We're good. Oh, tremors. That's okay. Uh-oh. That's not gonna feel good. I'm gonna jump over to our Pierce Ammo now, because he's powering up. And this time, we're actually gonna use our Temporal Mantle while he's in this state. Nope, no we're not. We're gonna run over here. Just gonna start attacking. We'll make sure he doesn't pull us into that by rolling forward. He's gonna roar. Yep. Smalls has left the online session. There's an open spot, guys. So Agitator's active again. Agitator's really not a bad skill for these arch-tempered fights, because they do last long enough that it activates pretty often. Roll forward here. Make sure we don't get hit by the rings. Oh, we're getting a lot of lag. The hot floor does not affect us because we have that Kolv Taroth heat guard. It's really powerful. Pretty much counters this monster. And everyone has it now. It's on PC, it's on the consoles. Nobody is lacking that armor anymore. There we go. Look at that high damage. We're going to keep shooting him in the chest. The chest. Pierce ammo to the rescue, man. That stuff's crazy. Yeah, with the Glutton Heavy Bowgun, you might have a little bit of a harder time getting his chest all the time, because look how fast he moves. He moves hecka fast. Oh, wow, that killed me in one shot anyways. Wow. I thought that I was going to be on the outside ring of it, and that I would then roll after it went off. I guess I just need practice. Holy cow, man. Don't underestimate the Arch-Temper monsters. If you haven't fought them in a while, you need a warm-up. That is a fact. Huh, maybe we'll bring guard up. You know, the Divine Blessing did not save us there. Guard up would have saved us. Just to let you guys know. Guard up would have easily saved us from that. Okay, roll forward. We still have a chance of beating him. But when we come back, I'm going to change the build one more time. Okay, he's moving away. Let's move under this tail. Ree! Ree! Oh, God. Do you want to move to another country in the future? I really don't. I want to stay in America, but if America loses too much of its identity, probably then. You know what I mean? One of the things I really like about America is it's a country that rewards you for being competitive. And if it were to change that, I would probably consider moving back to maybe a country that my ancestors came from. You know what I mean? So I'm open-minded to it. Open-minded to it. I do want America to remain a very competitive country. I think that there's a reason that all these really crazy corporations and innovations are occurring here in America, and I think it's because we reward people for trying new things and for working hard and taking big risks, right? And that will change if we become another country where your tax rate can be 50%. just crazy to think about. Government takes half of everything you earn and then it gives it to somebody else. Nope. People like me, if you're like me and you hear that, you go, I'm leaving this country. I'm going someplace where the government doesn't take half my stuff. And some people disagree with that, you know, and they're welcome to disagree with that. That's just how it is. One thing I do wish that America had a stronger, I wish America was better at, I wish America had a stronger, culture of Americanism. You know what I mean? I feel like America is still a fairly young country, and its culture isn't really necessarily based on your ancestry as much as it's based on the things that the country has done, like winning wars, having a big military, having a big economy. And so, yeah, I wish we had more of our own cultural identity. And I feel like actually it's a problem that we don't have a stronger cultural identity. It actually causes a lot of conflict. All right, we lost. So we're going to change the build one more time. I think that we should actually have guard up because, I mean, it's not that expensive. Come on. Guard up's not that expensive. Use Glutton. We'll get Glutton. Usually guard up is used to block elemental Non-physical attack, so I'm pretty sure you still don't need it. In this case, you would need... Oh, actually, I think that we might not need it. I'm trying to remember now. So I know you need guard up to block the beam, right, where he sweeps it. But I don't think you need it to block the concentric rings, now that I'm remembering. We'll have to test it right now, actually. America equals guns. Yep, America does like its gun rights. What's your recommended build for Arch-Tempered Zenitjiva? Well, we're working on that right now. So actually, I think we're going to, I think we're going to make a change. So this is a monster that deals a lot of elemental damage, right? We died in one shot, not two. We died in one shot to his concentric rings because it dealt too much damage to us. And the point of defense is to get rid of that. The point of defense is to get rid of dying to the concentric rings in one shot. So we're dropping all this vitality. And now we're going to change the vitality out with dragon resistance. So we have 1, 2, 3 dragon resistance. Alright, so health boost, dragon resistance. And finally down here, we'll turn this into 1 iron wall. We don't really need it to be anything else. I'm pretty sure that the shield mod will actually block a concentric ring. I'm not really worried about its beam. I recognize it too much. I'm pretty sure that the beam will cut through you without guard up. I'm sure of that, but I think the concentric rings only require a shield mod. So we're running over here. We're making one last change to the build. Customize Bogan. Here we go, shield. All right, so we gave up a bit of damage with the ranged attack up mod. It's really not that much though. So I think it's kind of foolish of me to not have that shield mod when I'm using a heavy Bogan. Kind of foolish. It's it's kind of like when people take too much attack boost, they don't really need it. I'm gonna post that one more time. And by the way, this is how I make all of the counter builds. I actually play the monster over and over again, and I look for things that just make a lot of sense, right? I try to get a strong balance of damage and defense. Damage and defense at the same time. You don't have to give up one in order to have the other. You can have high damage and you can have high defense. So actually, let's take a look at our dragon resistance now. Is at 11. 11 dragon resistance. That's a huge difference between the two, right? Now we're going to take this elemental resist large. And we have 26 dragon resistance, all right? So now we go from having bad dragon resistance to having actually very good dragon resistance. And probably one of the things we should test is if we can survive one of his big blasts, like the concentric ring attack, because I bet you we might actually be able to survive it. All right. Whoops. Let's go over to the item pouch. Oh god, this is so bad. Starts me out with my least important equipment. Large barrel bombs should be next to the heavy barrel bomb. Mega barrel bombs is so obvi. Who needs to be told that? Alright, that's much better. Actually, there's another thing I want to do. I'm going to make a video on this soon. So we go to this, and then we hit items coatings. Right, so check this out. So, where do you think it starts? At the bottom or the top? So here's Pierce 3. Put at the top here. And then after Pierce 3, probably Wyvern ammo. Put it next to that. After that, for this particular fight, probably poison ammo. And nothing else really matters too much. Flaming ammo. I didn't know this bowgun could use flaming ammo. That's interesting to know. Actually, we can paralyze this guy once, so... Oh, how about recovery ammo? It's not bad. The rest of that doesn't mean anything. So let's go ahead. So I bet you guys didn't know that the item bar could do that, did you? Jump over here to support. There we go. Uttam Patel says, "Hi, you give me so many tips here." No problem, man, and thank you for that. No problem. Uttam Patel. Thank you, man. Cries in the spaghetti pizza. Hector says, "Dragon resistance mantle?" No, we're actually going to go ahead and change our mantle over to the Rocksteady mantle. That would have also allowed us to defeat him. Tabrus says, "Are you from Italy too?" Oh, well. John Victor says, "Do you think there will be a new Switch Monster Hunter game?" Probably not, by the way. Probably not. The reason for that is because they had too much success by going for PlayStation, Xbox, and PC. It's their best-selling game now. So probably what you'll see is Capcom will probably, in their next game, let's say their next game's Monster Hunter World 2. Let's say that, right? Probably what you will see is they will try to they'll try to make it available on every platform, including the Switch, but I don't think they're going to be making exclusive games for Nintendo anymore. That's my gamble. That's my bet. I can't prove it, but that's what I would do if I was them. Yeah, I'd focus all my time on Monster Hunter World 2. Cries in the spaghetti and pizza. The elemental food buff definitely is the most efficient food buff in terms of efficiency. What? Hassan says, "Changing items on their location on the item bar. I thought that was common information." Shadow Gaming says, "How long will you be on Xbox? I get off work in 5 hours." Well, Shadow Gaming, I'll try to do 2 to 3 Xbox streams today. I was supposed to do that for the PC, but I was falling asleep all day yesterday. I had very bad sleep for 2 days in a row. Dr. Klebnes says, "No Xeno pieces on a Bogan build? Why?" The reason for that is because we're choosing defensive pieces of armor, like Heat Guard, for this particular fight. And really, this is one of the only fights you use Pierce ammo in. You could use it for, like, Uragan, I guess. This particular weapon has so many shots of Pierce ammo that you're not really going to need that spare shot for ammo reserves, which means it really just comes down to DPS reloading fewer times. And I don't even think that's going to make too huge of a difference in terms of your DPS output. Let's go ahead and put on the Rocksteady Mantle. So Rocksteady Mantle is really good for this fight in particular because it ignores his roar, right? So you can't dodge that roar, but you can put on Rocksteady Mantle, and Rocksteady Mantle ignores the roar. Nope, we don't want that. Are you serious? Did he really get hit by that? Maybe he flew into it, actually. Maybe his bird landed in it. If so, that sucks. See, he roars twice. We don't care for that. Alright. Get some more Wyvern ammo. See, he didn't have his Rocksteady on. He got interrupted. He had his Temporal on. Oh, the things you learn. Rocksteady is also really nice because it ignores tremors. So I'm a big fan of Rocksteady for this fight. You know, it would have been funny if I got killed by that just then. Because I was just making fun of the other guy for getting... Oh, okay. So half damage. Oh! No, dude. I was in the middle of reloading. Oh, my God. He cut right through the Rocksteady Mantle and everything. Dude, it's just a high damage monster. Holy heck. We've been having the worst runs here. Wow. I'm telling you, if you ever underestimate these arch-tempered monsters, you will just be wrecked for underestimating them. That is exactly what will happen. What flavor of popsicle do you recommend? Strawberry. Hey, Gameconomist, late to the stream. You're not that late, actually. We pretty much just started. We're at the beginning. Man, rip-a-roni. Rest in pepperoni. That Xeno Karma. Karmaconomist. Oh, that's interesting. Why am I not doing that much damage right now? I feel like I'm hitting lower damage numbers. Let's see, am I hitting 19 on the head? 14 on the head. That's strange. Oh, we gotta keep moving. Alright, we're good. Ah, the mantle is dead. Let's go ahead and put on the other mantle. Ouch. Should we test this? Let's test this. Alright, so you in fact do not need guard up to block the concentric ring attack. That was the point of that. Nice job. Gameconomist is religious. No, I'm not. I'm not religious, but I also am not like a moral relativist, if you want to use that term. I think that leads to bad outcomes. Can you make a Christian Christian Monster Hunter server? Anything new released for the event? Oh, that's a great question. Actually, I don't know. Probably not. I think we're getting that pig quest back, but that's going to. I don't know when we'll get that back. Jackson says sorry. Tuning in to another stream? Thanks, Brandon. He says, just finished soloing Arch-Tempered Valhazak and Arch-Tempered Kieran. Nice. Nice. Yeah, we're just finding out that the Arch-Tempered monsters are never quite easy. Hassan says, unlucky, you don't have a reload mod probably unless your heavy bowgun has very high reload. Well, we were reloading Wyvern ammo, and Wyvern ammo reloads real slowly on just about every bowgun, except for what? The Teostra heavy bowgun, the Griffin Blazuka heavy bowgun. I think that's it. And we don't have any ledges to do a faster reload either. Welcome to the Conservative Party. Let's repost. We're going to have a win, I'm sure. This time we won't make that mistake. This is how you win. You just keep playing. I want to get into bowguns, but they seem complicated. Bowguns, there is a bit to learn about them, but the reality is once you learn it, there's nothing else to learn. It's just a matter of shooting at that point, like just aiming and shooting. So if you want to play with the bowgun, you should just learn what there is to learn and then really enjoy all of the benefits of having learned them. If it helps, I did make an actual heavy bowgun guide, like how to use the heavy bowgun. It's the only weapon I've done that for. I've only made a heavy bowgun guide, and it's because it's my most used weapon that I understand it really deeply. So if you want to go watch that, that might help you get into the weapon much easier. Hassan says, oh shoot, didn't know you were using Wyvern ammo. Yeah, I was using Wyvern ammo. It's a long reload. Gameconomist, are you a Democrat? I used to be when I was younger and made less money. I think it's kind of like this. When you're younger and you make less money, you're mad at all the old people who have money. And then as you get older and it turns out you start to earn money, you go, oh, I guess I don't want to pay taxes. I think that's kind of what happens. It's just like that, you know. And I appreciate it more. Like I realize people who are real old would probably trade in all their money to be young again, and they can't do that. So all they have is their money. And so I'm not as angry at them for having all the money anymore. It's like, well, they own the businesses, they have the money, but they die too, you know. All of them are gonna die someday. Bill Gates, Warren Buffett, oh, they're so rich, but you know, they're closer to dying than I am. So I don't really think about it anymore. That's how it's supposed to be. When you get older, you're supposed to have all the money because you've had more time to play the game. That's how it's supposed to be. I think people get especially upset when like kids inherit their parents' wealth. And you focus more on the kid than the parent. The parent was the one who made the wealth. You could be a parent like that. You know, the parent sacrificed their wealth and gave it to their kid. You know, they worked their whole life. They probably were successful. They did something for society. That could be you. Go do something for society. Save up your money. Don't spend your money. Don't go on lavish vacations. Don't buy luxury cars. And then say, hey, to your kid, say this. Hey, I was an awesome parent. Here's all my money. And then your kid goes, sweet, now everyone hates me. Scientist making time travel. Am I a joke to you? All right, here he is. He's going to roar. He always roars at the beginning, so we put the Rocksteady mantle on right away. Brrr. See, told you. Told you. Brrr. Brrr. Alright, there's our special ammo. Alright, we're going to be more careful this time on the reload. We're going to make sure that he commits to an attack first. Alright, he did. We're going to go ahead and reload now. And that was our mistake last time. That was our mistake. We didn't wait for him to commit to an attack. We just kind of went for it, you know? Not supposed to do that. You're supposed to wait for him to commit to an attack and then you reload. Boop. That's not acceptable. Let's go ahead and heal. Enrage says, so you voted for Trump. Actually, no. Back then, I did not want Trump to win. I actually thought that Hillary would be more of a centrist, and she would provide a regular, safe economy for America. And Donald Trump wanted to get into trade wars, which generally, if you're a free market, if you're into the free market, you generally disagree with trade wars. But here we are in the future, and our American economy shot up as soon as Donald Trump won. And our economy is not falling apart. It's actually doing quite well. So yeah, now I just want that to continue, actually. And when the Democrats say, hey, we have some really radical ideas about taxation, I go, why would I want that rather than just what the good economy? It used to be that people didn't vote for presidents on their, like, I guess what they say on Twitter. You voted because they provided jobs and the economy was good and we were safe. That's how you were supposed to vote. But America's so prosperous and so narcissistic and so, like, emotional that everyone's like, oh, well, I don't like the way he makes me feel. And it's like, doesn't matter. America's not in any new wars and our economy's doing great. That is all that really matters. So if the Democrats' proposals weren't so radically different from his, I would be more open to them. But they are actually pretty radically different from what he's proposing. And the fact that his presidency has been such a success is a real problem for them. Like, the most they have has been this whole Mueller report thing, and the Mueller report has been really boring, actually. This is really boring. I'm so tired of it. I don't want to hear all the news. Mueller, Mueller, Mueller. I'm so tired of it. It's not interesting anymore. It used to be you were just worried about the economy doing well. That's what you used to worry about. Now people are like, oh, I don't like him. Yeah, it's like, that's nice. That's nice, but we need the economy to do well. They offer this other argument. They say the economy's not working for everybody. I'm like, what does that mean? The rich get richer. It's like, yes, that's because they own companies and you don't. And you buy Nike tennis shoes and they buy Nike stock. You got to go out and buy Nike stock. I've said this all before on my channel, by the way. If you're listening for the first time, my recommendation to everyone is that you think about the choices you make and how they're different from the wealthy. The wealthy like to buy Nike stock. The poor like to buy Nike tennis shoes. So your job is to stop buying Nike tennis shoes and start buying Nike stock. And that's sort of a, is just a analogy. It counts for everything. Like, you go to the store and you buy Kellogg's cereal. You should be going to the stock market and buy Kellogg's stock, right? You buy Coca-Cola. You should be going to the stock market and buy Coca-Cola stock. So there's all these consumer goods that poor people buy their whole life. You make somebody else wealthy when you do that, and nobody stops you from doing what the wealthy actually do. You hate them, but you won't do what they do. They don't buy Coca-Cola, they buy Coca-Cola stock. It's actually real straightforward. Very different decisions that they make with their money. You all make money, right? Even if it's not a lot of money, but everyone makes money. And you make very different decisions with what to do on that money. So here's a tip. Capcom stock is like $20 each. Instead of buying pizza for one night, go out and buy one Capcom stock. They're about to release a new game. So for all you know, not new game, a new expansion. For all you know, their expansion might do really well, and then their stock value is going to shoot up when that happens. So go out there, buy some Capcom stock. It's $20 each. It's really not that expensive when you think about it. And enjoy the benefit when their expansion does well. So you got to think differently. You got to make different choices. Everyone's super mad at the wealthy, but the point is everyone's supposed to be wealthy when they're old. And that's usually who the wealthy are. They're usually old people or old people who gave their money to their kids. One or the other. So you have to decide to be wealthy when you're old, and then when you are old and wealthy, you then give your money away. That's what you do. Run! Run! Let me eat Kellogg's stock instead of cereal. You're crazy. Make a YouTube video on that. I bought 100 Kellogg's stock and now I'm going to eat it. Buy absolutely nothing unless it's stock. Well, now, that's probably taking it a little bit to its extreme. But I mean, think about all the DLC, not DLC, think of all the microtransactions people buy. Totally meaningless. I mean, oh, do you even want to know how much money Fortnite makes on microtransactions? It would be horrible if you ever found that out. It would probably make you cringe if you found out how much money they made from their microtransactions. And people are buying like this useless digital content that they don't even truly own. The company can take it back away from you, and it's going to be irrelevant when Fortnite 2 comes out, right? They buy this irrelevant stuff, and you know what they don't buy? They don't buy stock in Epic Games. So it's like, and then they're just mad at the wealthy, but you made very different choices in life. And that's really what it comes down to, in my opinion. So I do get tired of the class warfare, and that seems to be what a lot of politics is today. It's just class warfare. Oh god, let's get away from this. I think that the elemental resist, the dragon resist on this build, see we got 26, I think it's been coming in handy. You'll notice we've been taking hits from, like right there, we've been taking hits from Zenjiva's moves. Oh, I'm dead though. No, I'm dead. Oh, I'm out. Nice try, guys. I was taking too many hits. I think that the elemental resistance, though, was contributing to my survivability quite a bit there. Matthew says, dude, I'm only 16 and you're teaching me this great stuff that I could actually use in real life. That's right. You don't need to know that what the membrane of a cell is. You need to know that you need to stop buying consumer goods and you need to start buying ownership of a company. Nobody got wealthy without owning something. You have to own something. It could be you own a bunch of real estate. It could be that you own your own company. Like, for example, I own my own YouTube channel now. Or it could be that you own stock, which is basically it's a legal way to buy ownership in another company. That's the only way to get rich. Nobody tells you this. I don't know why. People's parents don't even tell them this. And this is not like hidden information. It's not complicated information. You just tell people to go own stuff. Right? But people are very angry at the wealthy, very, very angry, and it makes no sense. It's just kind of like, it's very worrying. Oh, right, that's why you don't like to guard it, because it takes all your stamina and knocks you far away. People should be taught younger that investing for trading, etc. is super important. Right, and some people treat the stock market like it's gambling, except if you look at a graph of the stock market, it has pretty much only gone up. Like if you take a look at how the stock market fell in 2008 when we had our recession, yes, it dropped for a little while, and then it shot way past up where it used to be. Like go look at a history of any of the major, like look up the Dow Jones or whatever, and you'll see it had a little bump in 2008, and then it shot back up years later. Oops. Cries and failed cryptocurrency. Yeah, maybe. Mike Perry says it's not about owning stuff, it's about creating income with your capital. Well, technically that's an accurate way to explain what's happening, but it is still about owning stuff. That is what it is. If you're talking about owning your business, the reason your business is doing well is because it's creating consumer goods with your money, right? But the point is you own the business, so you're the one who becomes wealthy. Same with owning real estate, same with owning stock. The person who owns the company is the person who makes the profits, well, the most profits, I should say, from that company. So it's about shifting your idea of how to become wealthy from earning a wage to earning ownership in something. It's very important that you're the owner of something rather than the wage earner, because the wage earner doesn't ever make as much. 85% of America alone live month to month on their paychecks, so planning for future with investing is hard to do. I would agree with that, but I feel like for a lot of America, the reason they live paycheck to paycheck is because they're either not working hard enough, they're not challenging themselves enough, right? You're not aspiring to greater things. You're not competitively searching for better jobs. Or you've gotten yourself into a mountain of debt because you bought something like a luxury vehicle, maybe a degree that was actually very pointless. And there are people who are just unlucky. I admit that there are people who are just unlucky, but actually the majority of the time is from people who just made very poor choices. Very poor choices. Oh. What do you use for stock trading? Right now, I'm buying stock with I'm using an online brokerage called E-Trade, but there's multiple websites like that. And you could also just come into contact with like a financial advisor, and they do the same thing. They'll act as brokers for you, and you just tell them, here are my goals, and they'll say, okay, here's the financial product we're going to buy with the money you send us, and here are our fees. And they'll take a little bit of the money, but you will, in the long run, make way, way, way more money than the fees. And the way they make their money is they help a whole bunch of people at the same time. So that's how they make their money. Raynor Shen says, good talk. I learned in some financing session that long-term wise U.S. stocks is the most stable wealth growing method. Wish I knew earlier. The U.S. dollar is so stable that some countries don't even use their own monetary system. They just use the U.S. dollar. Some small countries, they don't even bother with their own currency. They want U.S. dollars because it's such a stable currency. It won't be that way forever if we go into infinite debt. I feel like that's something people don't understand. We can't just go into infinite debt. Right now, I believe the U.S. debt is higher than our GDP at this point. Everyone was speculating what would happen when that occurred, but it looks like it's higher now. I have to look that up to make sure it's true. I'm pretty sure it's accurate. $22 trillion of debt. America's like a credit card. Real bad. And it's going to catch up with us at some point if we just keep treating it like a credit card, because you can't just go. You can't just go into infinite debt. It's not going to work. It's going to be bad. Frankie says, I absolutely suck at this hunt, and apparently a lot of people do as well, because I spent 4 hours on it last night and no success. All arch-tempered fights are actually really tough. Yeah. They're legit all tough. We're going to go ahead and load up our ammo here as he is landing. See where he's going. Nice. Whee! Chat is so salty right now. Damia says he need to focus on playing the game and being entertaining in STFU. What? Wow, man. Damia, you sound a little mad. Bro, I learned about stocks while watching a Monster Hunter stream. What system do you play on? I actually play on all systems. I'm on Xbox, PlayStation, PC, and the Nintendo Switch. All 4 of them. Dr. Klebnes says, you Americans are noobs compared to us Italians. Sorry, I'm going to cry in my bed. Don't bother me. Oh. Sad day, the lobby is full. Ah, that sucks. Alright. Just wait to see if this passes us by. It does not. We guard it, actually. Well, that guard's really not too bad. When are you going to play PlayStation 4? Yes, I'll probably play it tomorrow. Today will be all about Xbox. It's like I'm a divorced parent moving between my turn to have the children. Oh, there we go. Knocked him out of the air. That's pretty cool. We're at 15 minutes, guys. Oh, good. So when he uses that move, it's usually because we're... No way! I did not think that beam was going to hit me. That beam is so random. Arch-Templar Zenajiva and Nergigante are the toughest to carry people through, to be honest. Ah, nice. Dre DeFleece says because of Trump, the national deficit is back over the 1 trillion mark, yet he cuts taxes in the richest people in the country. So you are correct that the U.S. deficit continues to move up under Donald Trump. On the other hand, the American economy outgrew the debt. And so the Donald Trump administration says that this is a victory because we've gone further into debt, but our economy grew faster than the debt. And he's technically right about that, but the question is, what happens if the economy stops growing? And that is what makes me nervous. Wait, where's my... Oh no, did I grab the wrong... Jesus Christ, I grabbed the wrong loadout because I wasn't thinking. Oh my gosh. John Victor says, I'm HR12 on Xbox. What quest should I focus for Iceborne? I don't want to farm Behemoth or Arch-Tempered. I would get all of my decorations, definitely. Yeah, focus on your decorations, and then you could try to get all of the layered armor if you enjoy the layered armor. I like to fight the Arch-Tempered monsters just because they're more fun, to tell you the truth. You're not even budging with Pierce 3, but you have guard on. It's true. I like these educational Oh wait, we don't have guard up. Oh my god, that was perfect. Oh my, I'm just reading the comment section and I see that beam coming and I realized what it meant at the last moment. Perfect roll. Whew. Holy cow. Who knew you could truly learn and chill at the same time? Well, I gotta make sure everyone in my audience does well so that you can all send me snack funds. Economy growing because of renewable energy sector that he is against law. More job growth because millennials are having to get 2 jobs to pay off college loans. Well, Dre DeFleece, that's definitely your opinion. Obviously, I'm not going to turn this into a Donald Trump debate. I don't actually agree with that opinion. All right, let's go. Oh. You know, when the Democrats argue against the economy, what they say, nice job, guys. What they say is this economy isn't working for everyone. They don't actually specify those points that you pointed out. And it's because they're very, I would strongly disagree with that, what you just mentioned. Lucky enough, TGC didn't lag out and get beamed back to camp. Take chat was awesome. Can you get the Star-Lord armor set? Yes, so you do that by doing the USJ quests. I will certainly help people with those quests if they post it. Give me my environmental research back and I'll be happy. Gameconomist makes me love learning. You gonna learn. We're gonna shoot up into the air. What I want is for you all to be wealthy and then you can come in and give me $2. Can we stop the politics and enjoy the stream? Some people enjoy politics. And it's not all just about politics. Actually, what I was mostly talking about was that you should invest your money. That's what I was saying. You should invest your money and prepare for retirement. And that's very different from politics, actually. That's just regular advice. Noop says, I've literally watched your videos in entirety. They're lengthy, but amazing and detailed. Thanks, man. Bobby Alien says, can I join the lobby? Anyone can join the lobby. The problem is you have to wait for a spot to open up, and it's just kind of first come, first serve. Gajira says, are cluster bombs good for Arch-Tempers and Ajiva? Ooh, that's an interesting question. Not on a team, I'd say. You could probably use it when you're playing by yourself. I think that probably if you wanted the best solo weapon against Arch-Tempers and Ajiva, it would probably be spread. Mr. Gonzalez says, I agree, buying stocks is important. I have mutual stocks, whatever it's called, mutual funds. How long are the events available? 5 weeks. Night Warrior says, is it easier to fight the Arch-Tempered Nergigante by yourself? Yes. Rob says, don't buy Gameconomist snack funds, buy Gameconomist stocks instead. I'll change it to stock fund. Then you can all tax me later. All right, let's see what we got posted. You can all raise taxes on me if I'm successful in life when I'm old. See, everyone's supposed to be successful in life when they're old. That's the truth. Everyone is. You're not supposed to be old and poor because that means somebody's going to have to pay for all your stuff. You're supposed to be old and wealthy. And we say, okay, that's normal. You've had 40 years to save up for being old. And it's just normal. So, oh, yeah, we saved it. So what are we fighting? We're fighting Arch-Tempered Teostra. why don't we check and see if we have a spread build lying around? Probably have it somewhere. There's a horde build. Yeah, that's spread. Here's a glutton build. What are we running? Ooh, we're gonna have like negative fire resist is the problem. We're gonna trade out the mighty charm. You know what I'm trading it out for. For free element. And then we're going to change that chest piece out for max might. All that's accurate. Expert, huh? I actually think we should drop this fortitude and expert and change it for fire resist for this particular fight. So 3 fire resist. And then we're left with these over here. We have 3 more. Crit boost, weakness exploit, definitely max might. Might probably guard up. And probably guard. Is Colval right now? Yes. Bro, that is not the truth. WTF are you talking about? What do you do besides YouTube? I do YouTube. Gameconomist, would you make an LLC and etc. Then we can buy a piece of them? No. C. Johnston said there are always supposed to be poor people. That's the point of capitalism. Well, that's not the point of capitalism, actually, C. Johnson. And you kind of tapped into an interesting question. What does it mean to be poor in America versus what does it mean to be poor in, let's say, a third world country somewhere else in the world? And it turns out being poor in America actually means you're fabulously wealthy because there's generous welfare systems, there are low-paying jobs you can get into rather easily, and there's a lot of security and products that you can purchase pretty quickly from jobs that actually, even minimum wage jobs in America, pay way more than jobs in other places in the world. So it actually, when you're in America, when you have a low-paying job, you're actually compared to the poor in the rest of the world, you're actually fabulously wealthy. And people don't like to talk about that or think about it that way. And the reason that's true is because wealth is relative. So if you compare yourself to the wealthiest people in America, you're poor. It's true. I'm poor. But when you compare yourself to the rest of the world, the poor people in the rest of the world, it turns out you're fabulously wealthy. And this is why people still move in. They're struggling to get into Europe. They're struggling to get into America and other countries as well that are doing well. And when you're in these countries and you're poor, you kind of take that for granted, I would say. That's my point. You kind of take it for granted. Poorness is a relative thing. And capitalism has actually done an extremely good job of raising people out of poverty. And you're not told this in school the same way you're not told to invest your money in school. You just don't talk about it for some reason. Just don't talk about it.
Sun is shining. Life is good. Cheers.
Thanks, David Larson. It is shining. It is a nice day where I live, too, right now, actually, believe it or not, which isn't always the case. David Larson. All right. Let's see what everyone's bringing, by the way. Wen D has Empress Mace Sticks. It's a good build. Silver with Terrath Hammer Sleep. Also good. Oh, well, Weakness Exploit 3 should be finished if you have that decoration. Kiarbo Water. What's he running again? Okay, so he's got Crit Element built in. Bow Charge Plus, Spread Shot, Normal Shot, Constitution 2. Yeah, that's good. Yeah, actually, actually, no health boost could mean that is risky. I don't know if he had health boost. How tough is Arch-Tempered Kushala compared to normal? He's tougher. The worst part is that you can't flash him, so it's awful. Enraged Postman says, there's also a huge homeless problem in America. I totally agree. Typically, what you find is the worst homeless problems are over in I would say, hyper-liberal California. They have a very serious homeless problem, yet they are taking their money, and rather than taking care of their American citizens, they're planning to spend that money on illegal immigrants, and I disagree with that. I believe that they have a responsibility to their own people first. Actually, do we not have vitality? There's actually a lot of poor people in the world, and the question is, who should you be helping? So we share a border with Mexico, but actually there's poor people in other countries, like probably in I don't know, probably like Africa is a common one people talk about. And the question is, why don't we help them instead? And usually the answer, there's no good answer to it other than they don't share a border with us. If you're talking about a purely moralistic viewpoint, it's not really good explanation why we don't take care of them in equal measures that we take care of people who are crossing our border illegally. There's no moralistic argument for it. It's just an issue of not thinking about it very much. Godric says you have both free element and non-elemental boost in your build. Yes, that's because actually on bowguns, the free element skill is used to increase your ammos. You're using the other side of the skill called ammo up. And then for bowguns who don't have any elemental ammo types, those are counted as a elementless bowgun. So because the glutton doesn't have, I already loaded it, huh? Because the glutton doesn't have elemental ammo types, you use the elementalist decoration on it. Krieg's Hetzer says you can't help everyone. And that's actually kind of cuts to the heart of the problem. You can't help everyone. You could actually, but you would kind of go bankrupt if you did. What really needs to happen is everyone needs to do their best to help themselves. And then everyone who does have means should also try. Oh, that was horrible. I missed. And then everyone who does have like extra wealth should also try to help, but you have to stay stable as an economy in order to continue to have that income that allows you to help people. And if you reach a point where people don't want to participate in your economy anymore because your taxation is too high, you're actually less able to help others. Yeah, so it's very important that... What's going on? My shots are missing. There it goes. That was so weird. I was getting zeros on all those. Was I shooting too high or too low? Wow, we almost died right there. He could run over us in a heartbeat. Oh my god. Playing with no health boost again. These are my old builds. I'm playing with no health boost. California and New York combined have more homeless people than the rest of the United States. 120,000 in California alone, I think using Forbes. Don't know if that's entirely trustworthy. I like scholarly sources. Yeah, they have a very serious homelessness crisis, and they don't have the money to deal with it. California's in a lot of debt. And people like to point to California as an example of what happens when you believe that you can just be endlessly taxing people and giving money away to people. It doesn't actually... Giving people money doesn't necessarily solve the deeper problem of how do you get them into a stable economy, which is the real issue. How do you turn people into people who can take care of themselves? That's the most important question. So you could just give your money away forever and just take care of them as if they were babies and children. But the question is, how do you get them beyond that? How do you get them to a point where they're working and providing for themselves, which is really important. And everyone has different theories on how that works. Yozidi says you're close to describing libertarians. Yeah, I mean every political party is just a different set of beliefs. I don't really worry too much about what label you want to use for them. I usually just think in terms of like economic terms, not necessarily political ones. There's a lot more than 100,000 homeless in California. Can we get Star-Lord layer set? You can right now. Are you asking me to do it? You might be asking me to do it. But if you're asking if you can do it right now, the answer is Oh, wait. I don't think there's a Star-Lord layered set. No. Oh, I see your question now. Yeah, you're asking if it even exists. No, I'm pretty sure it does not exist. It's a cool armor set. You can get it on PC probably. Yeah, PC has PC mods that allow you to do what you want. Isn't that nice? Oh, look at that. My old item loadout for this doesn't include a way to craft more ammo. I should be using these as well. Should be using the temporal mantle. Gameconomist, should I have people help me with getting me past HR 50? If you can get people to help you, yeah, why not? I don't see why not. What? It didn't go through his body. Wow, so weird. Glutton Heavy Bowgun still doing crazy damage. crazy damage. Let's see what we can craft. We can't craft more. Alright, he's going to the next stage. Let's take this as an opportunity to grab fresh ammo. Where's he going to go? What's the best and worst state to live on in the United States? Well, that's a very subjective question. It depends on what it is, kind of fits your personality and interests. The United States is a very, very large country, so what you might like might be different from what the next person likes. It's kind of hard to answer that question. I can tell you that some states in the United States are doing better than others. I've heard that Colorado's doing real well. The state I'm in, nothing really crazy is happening over here. We're a conservative state, and that means lower business taxes, lots of jobs, and not a very unmanageable debt. On the other hand, the state I'm in has the city of St. Louis, which I live right next to, and it has like the highest murder rate in like all of America pretty much. It's like really bad. It's like as bad as areas in Mexico where they have bad murder rates. Which unsurprisingly, it turns out there's like people dealing drugs in St. Louis that they got from Mexico. Right? That was in our news in May. Some guy, if you look this up for St. Louis, Missouri, if you look this up, there was a guy who he's been indicted on charges of being a drug kingpin in St. Louis, and he killed like 17 people, and he was dealing, was it heroin or cocaine? It was one or the other, and it was from Mexico. Nope. Gotta love those drugs. People love them. They make you happy for a while. Alright, look at that. KO machine. Heavy bowgun KO machine. Crazy, right? Even in a defensive setup, the Glutton is crazy strong. Yes, sir. It is very strong. That was a flinch. Look at all this lag. Unusually laggy today. I don't know what. Oh, nice try, Silver. I think he was KO'd. Or I think he was stunned, I should say. Americans love drugs. Well, it's kind of like, China had the opium trouble that they were having, right? And they had to stop accepting drugs in order to get their people. If you put, let's say you put cocaine in every grocery store in America, people are going to be hooked on cocaine. It's just how it works. You distribute it and people do more of it. So you kind of have to find a way to just get rid of it. And we know it's not good for you. Heroin, cocaine, that stuff's not good for you. Of course, there's been a lot of debate over marijuana, and I actually support marijuana being legalized. I think it's silly that people still go to jail for it in some some states. It's kind of ridiculous. But like heroin and cocaine, they're still pretty bad. Kitty, what are you doing, Kitty? Hedgehog says, drugs, politics, murder, and stocks demonetized. Very likely this stream will be demonetized. Alright, let's take a new look at this build actually. What did we actually build here? We have shield and iron wall, but I don't think that my actual setup has the shield mod. I think I was playing without shield mod. I seen people jewel in my school. I don't know what that means. Bulldog says weed is illegal in Colorado. BB says, I think a heroin addict is going to find it no matter what. That's just your opinion. The reality is if you lower the distribution of a drug, it does make it harder to obtain that drug, right? Everyone kind of agrees with this. This is a very common argument. People say, well, if you make abortion illegal, we'll just have it without the doctors. It's like, yeah, some people will actually, but actually there will also be people who go through with the pregnancy because having an illegal abortion is difficult. It's the same with obtaining firearms. There are people who say, well, if you take all the guns away, we'll get them anyways. It's like, yeah, some of you will, but actually it will be effective in lowering the number of firearms. So that's an opinion, and I don't agree with it. Let's go ahead and sort it. Tear the Salt Glutton. There we go. Shield. We got it. Oh, we should have it augmented differently too, but I bet you we can't. Hold on. Yeah, look at that. We're missing the Otogaron gem. Darn. Diggity darn. Harder to obtain equals more expensive. That's exactly right. And when something is more expensive to purchase, fewer people purchase it. The price goes up. Let's join... Oh. Cannot join quest until the leader has watched all cutscenes. Alright, well we can't wait for that. Let's go to events. Heralds of Destruction's Cry, Scorched Sun. Let's go ahead and help Wendy again. Rajab Kader says, what's your view on abortion? My view on abortion is that murder's wrong. However, you have to prove that you're really committing murder with an abortion in order to outlaw it. And so the Christians have a hard time proving that a murder has occurred because there's no like true definition for personhood. See what I'm saying? So the argument is, when do we have a person? And some people say, well, it's when the zygote egg is formed because that means they have a unique set of DNA. Other people say, well, a unique set of DNA itself is not personhood. Personhood involves a certain level of intelligence or maybe a heartbeat, something like that. So the definition for personhood is heavily debated on. What I certainly can say I don't agree with is abortion at 9 months. I think that the Democrats are crazy to allow that, because when you talk about the abortion debate, everyone on both sides, Democrats and Republicans, have to agree that murder is wrong and that we protect people from murder. So the argument then has to shift over to what is personhood. But I feel like abortion at 9 months really is murder, because you have a fully formed baby with a brain and a heartbeat. And the only thing about the baby is that it hasn't passed through the mother's birth canal. And women who think that they have a right to kill that baby at 9 months, I think that they don't honestly believe that it's not a person. I think they do know it's a person. I think that they just believe their rights override the rights of the baby. And that is not an argument of personhood. That's an argument of ownership, which is crazy, because it's basically like you can see the parallelism between that and slavery, saying, well, it's my baby because it's inside of me, therefore I can murder it. The arguments have to stick to personhood, and I think you have no good arguments at 9 months that that's not a person. They're all unreasonable sounding, in my opinion. I hope that question wasn't too all over the place. Buy stocks in heroin. Oh my god. Demonetized. We keep the baby comfortable. I know exactly what you're referencing, BB. Wall Among Us says, also, why bring a child to the world you can't maintain, money or personal maturity, or don't want to? Trent!
Loving the stream. Keep up the good work.
Thanks, man. Believe it or not, when I do the controversial streams, it seems like people actually enjoy having an opportunity to talk about these things sometimes. And mind you, I have many streams where we don't talk any politics at all. We just talk about the game. But, you know, people are interested in these subjects. In the United States, we're coming up on our election cycle. So, you know, it's interesting to talk about this stuff. It's hard to talk about this stuff, too. It's scary to take a position as a YouTuber, because then you're going to have people that are like, I don't agree with that position, I hate you, right? So it's a weird thing, but I do enjoy talking, so how could I not? Mahdi says, what about the rape situations when it comes to abortion? Have the abortion before the baby's 9 months, probably. That's what I would say. Don't wait till 9 months. That's you're waiting too long if you wait till it's 9 months old. Wait, why am I at this one? I should be over here. Trick Shop says, position on capital punishment. I believe that if you're a Christian, it is much harder to agree with capital punishment. Since I'm not a Christian, I actually think it's great. So if we can prove beyond a doubt that you committed a murder and you admit to your guilt, then we should be able to get rid of you. Because what you've essentially done is you've taken one of the most fundamental things that you can take in this world. You've taken another person's freedom, their life. And when you do that, you kind of forfeit your own life. That's kind of an eye for an eye perspective of punishment. And I think it's really all you have is eye for an eye. Now, if the family doesn't want to see the person put to death, you know, maybe the law should allow it to be so that the family does decide. But otherwise, you know, if you've committed a murder and we know beyond a shadow of a doubt that you committed it, I don't want to pay for you for the rest of your life with my taxes. You shouldn't be eating on my money. You shouldn't be living on my money. You should just be out of here. You committed a murder. It's very basic to me. It's not like a big complicated subject. And I think for a lot of countries it's not a complicated subject, but we make it a complicated subject in the US for a lot of reasons. Alan Mora says, I don't think abortion at 9 months is a thing. Oh, yes, it is. It is now. This year, 2019, abortions made it legal. I'm sorry, liberals made it legal in New York, and they were very explicit about it. There was an interview that asked if they could have an abortion at 9 months, and the policymakers said, yes, that is what this bill allows. And then I think another state did it as well. I can't remember. Actually, I think there was a state that was suggesting maybe even having abortion after the baby is born. Like being allowed to abort that baby if the baby's already been born, doing it then. And that was all over the news. It was extremely controversial. I'm trying to remember who said it, though. I can't remember who said that. Somebody said it. Here we go. Took me long enough. I'm like trading through my ammo types. It sounds so outrageous that you don't believe they said it, you know? That's how I felt, too. I was like, did they really say that? Eugene says, why does Pierce Heavy Bogan not need weakness exploit? It does need weakness exploit. I don't know if somebody told you that, but they weren't giving you good advice. Pierce Heavy Bogan needs weakness exploit. Ooh. Now, there are cases where you don't build weakness exploit on your bowgun. Really, there's just one very common case, and that's when you're fighting Arch-Tempered Kofta Roth. She has bad shot hit zone values, so you don't build weakness exploit for shot damage versus Kofta Roth. You build max might and crit eye. What is even the point of aborting a baby at that point? Why not just give it away for adoption? I guess that would be common sense. I have no idea, man. It's all about women's rights. They cheered it when the bill passed. They were like, we did it! We did it! It's like an obsession with being able to kill babies. It's crazy. Right, Eduardo says it right there, because feminists be crazy. Yes, it's kind of very extreme to me. And I don't think it's even politically prudent to have that position. It just doesn't make sense, because you're going to build up for yourself people who are more centrist and reasonable, and they're going to say, why would we do this? This is crazy. Literally every weapon in this game uses weakness exploit. That's actually not true. If you're doing a Wyvern ammo build, there would be no weakness exploit. If you're doing a sticky ammo build, no weakness exploit. Cluster bombs don't require weakness exploit. Gunlance builds that aren't going to be using the melee aspect of the gun don't need weakness exploit. Charge Blade with the impact files can actually do the same thing that the Gunlance is doing. You can ignore your melee damage and go strictly for explosive damage. And usually you're doing this on a very defensive build. So if you're doing pure damage output, then you would still bring weakness exploit on the Gunlance and on the Charge Blade, but my point is that you don't have to do this. You can actually go with a very defensive build. Moonmint says, knowing all that and restrictions for the mother's health aside, we can say that the claim, is it correct that now it's legal to have abortions up to 9 months in the whole USA, is not true. That's not what I watched. An actual interview with the people who wrote the policy for that law, and they were asked very specifically if the mother can request the abortion at 9 months just because maybe she's not feeling good, like maybe she's unhappy. I can't remember specifically what the words were. I wish I could remember. She can claim like mental problems or something like that for the abortion, and the lawmaker agreed. She said yes. So I don't know what you mean by that. Maybe I'm misunderstanding what you're saying. Have they made it easier to break Kolv's horns? Oh, no. I guess you could say they've made it more difficult. She's arch-tempered now. Woo! I'm going to stop using that. Oh, I thought I could roll through that. I failed. Luga's got him out. Nice job. We'll go ahead and heal up this. John Doe, I've been watching you for the past few weeks now. Keep up the awesome work. I am 17. Best advice you would have for me. At 17 years old, stay in school. Don't get anyone pregnant. Focus on your career.
Hell yeah, Monster Hunter World livestream. We'll talk about Iceborne, Extreme Behemoth, Arch-Tempered Hunts. This'll be great. Nope. Heroin, cocaine, drugs, murder, and politics.
All the things we love. This is the Monster Hunter you deserve. Thanks, David Larson, and thank you, John Doe. Keep up the awesome work. I'm 17. Best advice you would have. Actually, I can go a little further than what I said. I mean, some of the things I said are really obvious, right? But let me say this. I would say for me personally, it was really, really important for me to figure out exactly what I did better than other people, right? So one of the things I do really well is I talk a lot, and that's how I ended up moving toward YouTube. It's really important that you find out what you're better at than other people, okay? You might not be the best at it, but what's important is that you're better at it than the average person. Find a job that's related to that skill. And then also keep an eye out for what the market wants, okay? So the market doesn't want you to have a philosophy degree unless you're going to become like a lawyer. Whoop. The market generally doesn't need that. Look for like a job in technology or medicine or finance and combine that together. Combine what the market wants with what you're naturally best at, what you're naturally better than other people at. And then when you do that, you'll be able to pick a good career. And when you have a nice career, it's going to be much, much, much easier for you to get like a good wife or husband. Koga, whoa! He says, I really got to get back into Monster Hunter World. Watching your streams makes me miss it. Thanks, man. Dang, dude. Very generous. General Koga, my man. Oh my gosh. You know, it's funny. I'm just kind of playing and talking, and I have no health boost on this build, and I am not dead somehow. Have you ever driven a long time on the road and then you realize you're at your destination, but you don't remember how you got there? You don't remember the drive? That's kind of how this feels like right now. I'm so invested in our conversation right now that I can see that Teostra's taking damage, but I don't remember doing the damage. Queso Apprentice says, the Dems are worried about kids at the border, but murder millions per year makes sense. Well, this is a very common thing that conservatives say. They say, you care about this subject, but you let millions of people die to abortion. And actually, it's a very weak argument for conservatives to make because the Democrats don't actually believe that they're murdering anyone. So for that's I kind of categorize that as preaching to the choir because it's really only an argument that matters to other conservatives. If you want to be effective in having a conversation with somebody that you don't agree with on abortion, you have to make a better argument than that. Because again, they don't believe that they've committed murder. They believe that they've gotten rid of a clump of cells. That's what they believe they've done. A clump of cells that eventually would be a person, but it's currently not. Let's go ahead and put this away. Oh, they're having their turf war. Very important. You get free damage. See, that was almost 5,000 damage. I think when the conservatives say they don't want to fund abortion, they don't want taxpayer dollars on it, that to me makes a lot of sense. When they say, you know, per my religion, I think that we're actually committing murder here. And they're talking about a subject like abortion where we can't really prove whether it's murder or not. See, the Democrats can't prove that it's not murder. That's the trouble with this argument. I think that the conservatives have a right to not have to fund something like Planned Parenthood. Similarly, maybe the Democrats shouldn't have to fund the border wall if they don't agree with the border wall. Something like that, right? They believe in open borders. But we don't really allow that in our tax system, which maybe we should. See, if the Democrats didn't have to pay for the border wall at all, maybe they wouldn't care that much. They'd be like, well, you can build it, but I'm not going to pay for it. You pay for it. Ooh, hell yeah. Look at this good damage. Holy cow, man. Dude, that's some crazy good damage. Minx says, hi, Dad. I'm here now, so you can start the stream. How's it going, Minx? Well, Minx the moderator is here. Ah, stop moving. Stop moving. He's moving too much. All right. Let's take this off. Keep religion and money out of politics. Problem solved. Not really. That's never going to happen because politics and money are both a part of, religion and money both define your religion. I actually when I was really young, I had this debate with a religious friend of mine. Oh no, I'm dead. Yep. Oh, no. I'm contributing to the deaths. See, if I'd had health boost, I probably would have survived that. I'm contributing toward the deaths. Not good. Dropping health boost is good for speedruns. I don't think it's good for playing with friends. God, we're going to lose now. We would have an extra life if I didn't die right there. One of my friends asked if it's the government's job to make moral decisions for the people. It was a really tricky question back then, and I was probably like 12 or something like that when we started talking about it. And it was a very tricky question to answer. Is it the government's job to make moral decisions for society? And I answered, of course, no, because my thought on the government was that it was supposed to tax the people and go to war. But he basically said when we codify laws, that's essentially what we're doing. We're trying to create ethics, like you shouldn't murder people. Well, that's a moral, ethical argument. Otherwise, the only reason you might make that argument from a non-moralistic position is it's less profitable to murder somebody. Or maybe you'd say the person with the biggest gun gets to do the murdering and that's it, right? Something weird like that. But the government actually comes in and says, this is our philosophy, that you should not be allowed to murder people. Freedom is a philosophy. It's a moralistic argument. There's no evidence that we should have, quote, freedom. It's a moralistic argument. So really, it is a government's interest to have, to kind of set a moral standard for its people. China does it. They have like Confucianism. Europe did it. The Middle East did it. America did it in its own way. It's pretty much very similar to what Britain was doing at the time, I think. Was it? I can't remember. It was based on John Locke's philosophy of freedom, I believe. And the question is, let's update this snack fund. A whole bunch of people made donations, but I'm going to go ahead and update it for General Koga. Thank you so much, General Koga. Man, you are very generous. Whew. Stream no longer demonetized. Let's change this bill to be more rational. We got fire resistance. Can we also get health boost in here? I don't think we can. I don't think we can. So we're going to have to give up fire resistance for that health boost, but I feel like it's going to be worth it. All right. Zypher says, I wake up, I see notification, I click, I watch, I support. Thanks, man. Chaos Apprentice says, drive down the street, hit and kill a pregnant lady, get charged with double murder, but yet abortion is okay. Yes, people have pointed out the hypocrisy of that. Crisis says, to dial this conversation back a bit, how do I invest in Capcom stock? So what you need to do is you need to know the stock ticker. I believe it's CCOEF. Let me double check. I'll look it up right now. Actually log into my account because I bought some. There's actually two different Capcom companies that you can invest in, and one of them deals with the software and the other one deals with all the other stuff, I believe. 1 second. It is called, hold on, I'm going over to my account. It's CCOEF. So you look up the stock ticker and you say that you want to purchase a certain number of them. You're going to have to make an offer, a bid for them, and you might offer slightly more than the current market value, and then people who are going to sell that stock because they no longer want it are going to end up selling that stock to you. Or if there's stock available that hasn't been purchased, you'll be buying it. But more likely, you're just going to be buying it from people who don't want it anymore. And the stock market starts trading, and a broker makes the trade for you, and the broker takes a fee for making that trade for you. So you have to have a broker. You can find brokers all over the place. They're just like bankers. And you ask them to make that purchase, or you create an online account from a website like E-Trade, and you do the same thing there. You say, okay, E-Trade, you open up an account with them. It's going to be just like a bank account. And then you say, look up CCOEF. I want to buy 10 of these. That would be like $200. And that's exactly how you buy stock. It's really uncomplicated. That's the funny part. It's like as easy as ordering something on Amazon. And you have this big rift between the rich and the poor. It's because the rich people figured out how to buy stock, and they just buy stock now. And you buy, the consumer goods. You buy stuff that eventually it expires. So maybe you buy a really nice looking shirt that you don't need. And the rich person goes and actually buys ownership in that shirt company. Two very, very, very different choices that lead to two very different outcomes. And that's my advice for everyone, because you're all going to be wealthy someday, is to learn how to buy ownership in a company or to go out and start your own company, one or the other. Let's join Wendy a third time. because we died that last time. Does Slugger make sense on a Dark Devour Sticky 3 build? Yes, it does. Distract says, to the drug thing, make something harder to get also increases crime because people still want it, so it's better to legalize it. No, actually, I disagree with that, Distract. How about this, Distract? Do you think that people should be able to buy grenades? Because your argument here is that if grenades were made legal, there would be less crime with selling grenades. The Zypher says, oh, all right, I read that one. David Larson says, hey man, I'm going out for around an hour or so with my family. Will you be streaming for much longer or again later today tonight? I'll probably be streaming tonight. Looking forward to you soloing Extreme Behemoth. Yes, I should get back to that. I should have time to get back to soloing Extreme Behemoth, but I don't know when I'll start doing that. I might do that soon. But I will try to do a second Xbox stream tonight. All right, let's run over here. Let's go ahead and eat a meal. By the way, we are at -8 fire resistance. That's terrible, actually. Oh, no. You can't have it all. I'm tempted to drop Spare Shot on the Glutton, actually. We're going to try this out. We're going to see how it feels. And if it's not doing well, we're going to drop that Spare Shot. Eduardo says life tips. Rob ML says, it depends on the stage of pregnancy in Florida. It would be a double murder, has to be viable and able to survive on its own under normal circumstances. Really? So they actually set a standard for it. That's crazy. Because in some states, it's just whether or not the mother wants the baby. And it brings up this really obvious question of, is that all that decides personhood, whether the baby's wanted or not? Because that's a really poor way to judge whether another person exists. Punched Biscuit says, Gameconomist, do you know about ledge light bow gunning? Yes, of course. Jason Campbell says, hold on now. Portugal decriminalized all drugs and their violent crime rate exponentially fell, as well as their overdoses. I disagree with the grenade comparison. Jason, I feel like you should have to answer the grenade comparison, though, because here's the thing. People are always using studies to make arguments, and all it would take is for me to get a different study to counter your argument. It's really not that complicated at all. This is like the future of arguing. You pull up a study, the study has a poll in it or something like that. It has like some data figure, and you say, see, I'm right. And then your opponent just says, well, here's another study, and it says you're wrong. So who's right? And it ends up going back to logical, philosophical arguments rather than just pointing at data and saying, see, now I'm accurate. So what you might find is that something else contributed to the falling of crime. You might find that crime in general has been falling, because that's actually accurate. Crime's been falling dramatically over the years. The world is becoming less warlike, and there's less crime all over the world. And maybe decriminalization of weed, or the ending of the profitability of maybe like a drug gang contributed to it. There's all kinds of things that contribute to it. It's really a complex argument. Right, like in the state where I live, Missouri, there's a certain amount of murder that's occurred here. And one guy today can decide to go on a murder rampage. And if he went out and he killed, like, let's say, I don't know, he manages to kill 20 people, our statistics on murder would look significantly different than they did one day ago. And the question is your chances of being murdered in Missouri higher than being murdered in Chicago because of what this one man did? So it gets real complicated to try and make those arguments. So that's why I presented the grenade argument for you, because it becomes very obvious when you present the grenade argument. If legalizing stuff necessarily as a rule reduces crime, why aren't grenades illegal to purchase? Because obviously, your argument wouldn't work in that case. So legalizing drugs, I've heard about it working in some countries. I'm open to the idea of decriminalizing it. The question is if it would work here in the United States. That's the question. And some people say, nope, we should just keep it illegal. And if you deal drugs, you need to go to jail. That's what some people say. And everyone has a different opinion. I don't really know exactly where I stand. I want the most effective strategy. All I'm trying to say is that there's always two sides to an argument. That's all I'm trying to say. No cool drinks? Who needs cool drinks? If you skip the cool drink, you stay hot, and I want to be hot. Herb is legal in California. I still don't get it from my dealer because it's cheaper and better quality. Oh, he says I still do get it from my dealer. That's funny. It's better quality. You know, it's funny. I've heard that farms in Missouri, because we're such a humid state, would actually be really good at growing marijuana, and we lose out on a crazy amount of money for not producing the world's marijuana. I've heard that. Missouri is a crazy humid state. Oh God, I'm about to die. Let's go ahead and get this max potion going. Missouri and Illinois, by the way, not just Missouri. I think there is a barrier between the drug argument. Oops, what just happened? See, I don't think the bullet truly pierces forward. I think it has some weird ricochet magic that goes on when you fire it. Oh. Only reason marijuana is legal now is because politicians took forever to realize they could make money off of it. I don't know if I agree with that. I think that politicians do have to choose. I think politicians, whether they're receiving funding from like the drug company or not, they do have to win elections. And people have changed their mind on marijuana and want it to be legal. And I think that's mostly what's causing it. Why are my shots missing? They're like disappearing. Tons of damage. The frog blocked the shot. But if he did, then the shot should have gone through, right? Is that not right? He could have blocked the shot, it's possible. I wish my English was better so I could actually join the discussion. I have so much to say, says Jen Byer. Sweet. I will just speak to you in your native language. No, I won't, because I'm terrible. I don't know other... I tried to learn German. I learned 2 years of German, and then that's all I had to... I had to do that for my degree. I didn't even have to do it. They're just like, well, you need these credits. I was like, all right, I guess I'll do German language. It was that or art history. Oh, ouch. The reason they changed their mind was... Oops. The reason they changed their mind was because of the holistic properties it has. James Deneen says, if you gave people the freedom to do whatever they want, then you're trending toward anarchy. Right. That is true. Alright, well, we got 1 life left. I just died. You'd think I would be having an easier time with Glut and Heavy Bowgun, but I've always known it's kind of... When you use spread shot, it is higher risk than the other bowguns, and you do have to take that into account. People are like, oh, Glut is so powerful, and it is when things work out, when you live. Of course, I was reading a comment. That contributes to my loss. Ouch. Oh, time to run. Oh, double kill. Wendy and Silver. Omnirath says, got my mighty bow gem off of the big chungus. People aren't islands. We function and work together in a society, and having your neighbors all shoot up on heroin will cause deterioration of your community. This is true. James says, like for real, would meth be okay to just buy whenever someone so pleases? I would say no. What else? How much German do you still know? I recognize some words, but it's very weak, very weak. I haven't had to do German in like 4 years, and I haven't practiced at all. So it's very bad. And taking 2 years of German really does not make you fluent at all. Disguster says, there would never be absolute freedom for everyone since freedom is provided by those in power. So in an anarchist society, someone would grab power and hence decide on the definition of freedom. That's exactly right. That's why anarchy and ANCAP are all silly. None of it makes sense. All right, so that was spread, and I thought it was actually kind of terrible. I just don't think spread's as good when you're playing on a team. Actually, you know what? Let's make one more change to the spread. Alright, we're going to drop all the Zenejiva stuff. We'll do Emperor's Greaves. Nope, not Zora's Spine. Not Nergi Coil. Not Kush Cocoon. Not Kaiser Coil. Where is it? Here it is, Cold Malice Y. This is actually not bad. We'll hold on to this on the build. I think that's fine. Dragon King Eye Patch, huh? Let me think about it for a minute. Dragon King Eye Patch. Yeah, I think that's actually fine. Set decorations. So what we did was we just got rid of Spare Shot in this build. And we're going to finish out Crit Boost again. We're going to finish out Max Might again. Max Might's really good, actually. Alright, we're left with this. So because we gave up on Max Might, we can take both fire resistance. Where is it? There it is. We gave up Spare Shot, but we picked up more fire resistance. It's a trade-off, and the question is, which one is better? Ooh, look at that. Hot 25 fire resistance. That's really great. Alright, we're gonna go. Oh, did Wendy already repost? Let's see. We'll check for Wendy again. That's Wendy. Let's go ahead and join. James Deneen says you can't allow total freedom. There has to be a social norm that the majority agrees on. This whole focus as of late on niche problems is totally failing and causing nothing but division. Well, I mean, it really just comes down to the niche problems, so you have to talk about them. You know, that's what you just said, that you had to get the group to agree on something. Well, that's how you agree on something. You pick out the problems and you argue it out. JR says, in the U.S., there's a good example in the reduction of crime. The Prohibition era skyrocketed the mafia crimes. That's right. Bad people want to sell you drugs. And I think that legalizing weed is something that we can do. But I think one of your arguments here is that the only way to defeat a drug crime gang is to legalize what they're selling. I don't think this is necessarily the only way to defeat them. I think you can go and kill them all, and that would defeat them as well. But we're soft on crime sometimes. Sometimes we don't want to do that because we're like, well, that's somebody's brother, that's somebody's dad, that's somebody's blah blah blah. Well, we're not going to do that, and oh, we got to help them. It's like, no, you could just make the law, do the drug, get killed. You know what I mean? And you know, but that's a very hardline take on it, and I don't think people are comfortable with that. It's like, well, but it would get rid of the gangs. It would. It actually would. Killing's like a worst. It's like a last choice. Everyone tries to avoid it, but then it's like a bunch of people die, and then the decision's over. It's usually how you take a country as well. Gameconomist missed non-elemental boost. Thank you so much. We're gonna go ahead and add that to the build. Let's drop one level of fire resist, actually. Non-elemental. Hey, there we go. And what's our 17? This is a difficult subject. I thought the major push to criminalize weed was from paper companies or something because they were against hemp and needed a reason to limit some protection that was allowable. Well, that's kind of conspiracy, but I think that it actually sounds a little bit reasonable, actually. Mink says alcohol was a little different than, say, heroin or meth, as alcohol was legal previously and common among European countries. How to end all crimes. Install a dictatorship. You just changed the definition of crime, really, right? James Deneen says you can't legalize hard drugs. Do you want crackheads running around the streets like 28 days later? King Supreme says, love watching the vids. Keep up the good work. I can't stop playing the game. I'm glad you're enjoying it, man. Ming says, although the damaging effects of alcohol isn't nearly the same as shooting up on heroin. That's actually true. Heroin is very damaging. Okay, so we've traded out for a more defensive build. Let's see if it makes much of a difference. The big change now is that we have lots of fire defense, but we've given up Spare Shot. That's a pretty heavy trade-off, actually. Cool drink, which isn't going to make a difference, because it really never does. All right, let's jump down. Rob ML says in Rio, they can't control the gangs, even with killing them off. Well, the problem is you'd have to kill too many people. I guarantee it. Because if you're having trouble with your economy and there's no jobs and a lot of gangs and a lot of young guys who don't really have jobs, they naturally turn to crime. So you have to have an economy where young men can go get a wife, go get a job, have something to live for, right? And it shows you that. But the thing is, my argument is that you actually could just go in and slaughter everyone. Actually, I think they tried to do that in the Philippines. Did they not? Duterte? Is that how you say his name? Duarte? I don't know how to pronounce his name perfectly. I should look it up. Right, they were attempting to do that, and everyone was like, well, he's just going to use this as an opportunity to kill his political opponents or something like that. It's a very inhumane thing to do. That's the problem. But it's like, it's different ways of dealing with different problems. Humans have not always been humane. Very often, dealing drugs and being in a gang has problems to do with having a normal family life and having a job. But I think some people just like to be bad people too, because it's fun to be in a gang. Brrr. The real solution to our problems is the need for a reset button in this world. Nah, you don't need a reset button. That's like when you're drawing a picture and the picture doesn't come out right and you're like, I'm going to destroy the whole picture now. I hate it. You're giving up too fast. It's always going to be imperfect. You just kind of have to accept that and work with what you have and do your best with what you have. Duterte. Duterte. Really? It's not Duterte? I thought it was Duterte. Tirte, huh? Cool drinks do work, but they have to be alcoholic. I tried to roll it. I should have just guarded. And I'm dead. Just like that. He true comboed me out of that first knockdown. Is water good against Behemoth? Is water good against Behemoth? Water bow. Yeah, use the water bow. But for the most part, no, it's not. In the Philippines, Duterte promised to end crime in 3 to 6 months, and people were fed up with the previous liberal administration. Right, so one of the things people don't understand with drugs and gang violence is that simply making the drug legal doesn't stop these men from wanting to be bad men. This is something you have to understand as well. So if what they're selling becomes legalized, it doesn't mean they suddenly settle down for a nice life and I don't want to kill anyone, I just want to be a nice, humble man and contribute to society. They don't do that, actually. That's why a lot of them end up, not all of them, but a lot of them end up in gangs because they actually enjoy breaking the laws. What gets the rocks off, right? Makes them feel cool, they're part of this group, they're against the government, they feel almost like a militaristic, if that's the right word, group, right? They have power and control, blah, 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 blah. And so when you get rid of the drug that they're selling, they just move on to the next drug, right? So if alcohol still was illegal in the United States, you would expect the drug cartels to be selling alcohol. And then when we legalize drug, they move on to weed. When they legalize weed, they move on to whatever the next drug is. Heroin, cocaine. They're going to do all the illegal things, and there will always be something that's illegal. So this idea that we can end the gang violence by just legalizing all the things they want to do is just not true, because these are people who are willing to do very bad things. And they do it for money, or they do it because they think it's fun, whatever the case is. And then there's just, the only way to deal with that is to incarcerate these people and try to prevent them from ever joining the gang in the first place, probably. But the idea that you can always get rid of them just by legalizing what they're selling is just silly. It just doesn't work that way. Some people want to live that way, you know what I mean? Some people want to live that way. How could anyone think legalizing drugs will help? Well, the argument is that you take away the thing that they make profit off of, and this makes it harder for them to operate because they have less money. And I actually think that the argument does have some credence. The problem, though, again, I think there's a misunderstanding from the people who want to legalize the drugs. I think there's this belief that if you just legalize it, that these gangs will go away, and it's like, nope. It's because it's quite literally a group of people who enjoy breaking the law. They, if you think these guys don't enjoy it, you're wrong. They do. They love it. That's the whole point. They actually really enjoy it. It makes them feel cool and powerful and dangerous and whatever else. That's the whole point. Oh, there's a turf war. Kevin says, yes, deviants will always exist in society. Exactly. Exactly. Can't just get rid of them by making drugs legal. I don't recognize this reality. Seems like it belongs in an episode of The Twilight Zone. Oh, yes, he is knocking down. Part's broken. Oops. Oh, shoot. I need to craft more spread. Swear to God, Impact Mantle working with the spread shot is one of the serious ways spread shot ended up being the most powerful ammo type. I don't know if that was going to hit me or not. Probably it wasn't. Oh, the Impact Mantle just ended. That's too bad. Oh, this is it. This is the run, guys. Drugs shouldn't be legal, but marijuana shouldn't be a drug. That's actually a very good. That's actually a very good characterization of the issue. So what he's saying is, marijuana should be labeled as a non-harmful drug, but harmful drugs are still harmful drugs. So why would we make them legal? That's actually what's going on here. People are realizing that marijuana is not actually that harmful. So that's a more accurate description of what's going on here. I think people get swept up in this idea of just legalizing everything. And it's just like, no, I wouldn't want meth sold at my local grocery store. That does not, in fact, sound good to me. Oh, that's weird. I couldn't help Wendy. Oh, he's roaring. Really hope they buff spread, slicing, and elemental ammo. Sucks if we all have for viable ammo as spread. Yeah, we'll have to see how the future is for the ammo types with the heavy bowguns and Iceborne. We're getting Iceborne soon, guys. This is the festival. When the festival is over, it's Iceborne time. We are very close. We are 1 month away, basically. Oh. God, I managed to dodge it. I don't have Crystal Burst. Does anyone else? Oh, God. How high of a priority is Slugger in a spread build? Oh, you don't build Slugger at all. You do not build Slugger for a spread build at all. So it has 0 priority. You have the Impact Mantle. Impact Mantle will give you KO damage on your spread shot. I wasn't sure if that was going to hit me. We're just going to be careful. Alright, we don't want him to leave. Oh, there we go. Marijuana is great, the Pope. Can't wait for my shift to end. 4 days of Monster Hunter World. Nice. Waiting for those to blow up. There they go. Nope. God, I want to get close, but I do have a Temporal Mantle now. Oh, he's so dead. I have Temporal Mantle. It's over. Temporal Mantle time. Boop. It's so over. I'm a light bowgun user. Is the best bowgun Devil's Madness? If so, what mod should I use? Because I was planning on ledge light bowgunning. Right, so you guys might have heard of this thing called Ledge Light Bogan. You're not going to be using it because it's not usable in most cases unless you're playing, I guess, solo on some stages, and then even then you're going to find it's just sometimes useful, in my opinion. It's not quite like... Silver okay? It's not the same as like ledge hopping with the greatsword and the hammer, in my opinion. With those weapons you have a lot more control over what happens. So I personally find that, after testing it myself, I personally find that ledge hopping with the light bowgun is really more of a speedrunning tool than it is like a legit playstyle. Legit's not the right word. Common playstyle. Mr. Gonzalez says, I argue that decriminalizing or legalizing drugs can open paths to better rehab for drug addicts. With good rehab, it increases the likelihood that they will not return to drugs. Yeah, I mean, you could argue that. You could also argue that it makes it easier for them to obtain the drugs. If you're talking about legalization, which I think is what we were mainly talking about, legalizing marijuana is one thing, but if you're talking about legalizing, let's say, meth and heroin, is going to make it even easier for people who have no intention of getting rid of their addiction to obtain it legally, and it's going to make it easier for people who never would have tried it to try it legally, because that's what happens. Like, if you're going to make, like, soda legal, people are going to drink more soda. If you make it illegal, people are going to drink less of it. Really, really simple. As for decriminalization, that one's a bit more complicated. So what are you decriminalizing? Are you decriminalizing somebody coming forward and saying, I have a problem, please help me? Or are you decriminalizing people who are selling the drug? Because I'm pretty sure in the vast majority of times, you can right now, all over America, come forward and say, I have a drug addiction, please help me, and they can check themselves right into rehab and not go to jail. What people really get in trouble for is dealing, actually. Dealing is usually where you start to get into trouble. Like, I'm the drug dealer. They're like, oh, you are? You're going to jail. So I don't really know what you mean by decriminalization, quite. You have to be more specific. Aaron Ross says, love your channel. What is the best path when it comes to getting better at the game? I'm HR 55, and I'm finding the difficulty curve extremely hard to keep up with. Bring health boost. That's my first tip. And then my next tip is to learn the iframes on your roll. The iframes start at the very beginning of your roll, so the moment you hit the dodge button. And the third step is to learn all of the monster's moveset. So it's very important to understand movesets. Movesets are really the challenge. So if you're playing like Call of Duty, what you do is you learn how to not be shot by your opponent and you shoot him back. With Monster Hunter, you get this RNG system of attacks. So the monster chooses one of his attacks. It's a little bit random. Sometimes it's a little bit scripted, like, oh, the player's moved far away, use this move. When he moves far away, use this move. The monster uses one of these attacks, sometimes randomly, and your job is to recognize what that attack is and then to respond appropriately by either outspacing the move. This is very common and easier than iframing, or to iframe dodge through the move. And iframing through the move takes a lot more skill, takes a lot more practice. The evade window skill can help you practice it, by the way. So can the evade mantle. And really, if you want to become good at the game, that's what it's all about. You have to learn how to dodge through moves. You have to learn to recognize all of the attacks and kind of get used to that idea. Okay, because when you get used to that idea, when you fight a new monster, you come in knowing, okay, my job here, if I want to be good at fighting this monster, my job here is to learn his moveset as fast as possible and to learn it completely. All right, let's see who to join next. Hope that helps. Soma says base roll iframes are worthless. Nope, no they're not. Not at all. The reality is that the movesets of the monsters in this game are complicated. Some of their moves are very easy to dodge through, and then some of their moves are very hard to dodge through, and that is intentional. They designed it to be that way so that it would be difficult. So knowing which moves you can dodge through versus which moves you need to outspace is really, really important. Okay, so we're fighting the Ancient Leshen. Let's go ahead and put our heavy bowgun build away. We'll put this one right next to it. So we have two different versions, one that has spare shot and one that does not. We're going to grab Dark Devour for this fight. Manage items. Robin Mail says, if you decriminalize everything, you open access to those who previously were reluctant to try a drug because of the consequences if they got caught. Yes, that would be the logical point to make. Absolutely. By the way, I need to get into switch axes more. Switch axes is one of the weapons I've played the least, along with the dual blades. I'd like to get more into them, learn a little more about them. Run up to the canteen. Siphon Gaming says, what's the best light bowgun for Arch-Tempered Kulftaroth? The answer is pretty straightforward. Lunastra Sticks Light Bowgun. Use Thunder Ammo in stages 1, 2, and 3. In stages 4, you can continue to use the Lunastra Sticks, but you'll swap over to Slice Ammo at that point. Alternatively, you could have a second Light Bowgun build ready to go for stage 4. It might be an Ice Ammo Light Bowgun build. That is my recommendation. We're fighting the Ancient Lesson, right? Oh, does someone have Moxie? Oh yeah, somebody had Moxie. So let's go ahead and eat for Moxie. We'll have defense Moxie. Because the attack up large isn't really going to affect the shelling that much. My sticky ammo is not going to be affected by it too much. So the little bit of extra defense will be nice. A Humble Weave says you get around 0.25 seconds of iframes on the base roll and around 0.45 seconds with the evade window 5. Sweet. Actually, Humble Weeb, it'll actually change depending on what weapon you're talking about as well. Some weapons have a larger iframe, some weapons have a smaller iframe. Lord Kibagami says, who's been playing since launch? I started about a month ago. I've been playing since launch, every day actually. John Doe says, do you think it's foolish to pursue a dream of becoming a pianist? I think that it's tricky to pursue any dream, John Doe. I would say you need to have a very realistic view of how good you are compared to other people. You kind of have to know if you're better than others, all right? So, and that's tricky to do because you're self-evaluating. And when you're self-evaluating, the biggest problem is you could be biased toward yourself. This was actually a problem I asked myself when I was starting my YouTube channel. I was sitting there going, could I reasonably become a YouTuber? And I was thinking about what you have to do to become a YouTuber, and I was wondering if I could do that better than other people. And my biggest fear was that I would miscalculate, I would like over or under believe in myself. And the point is, you have to pursue what you're interested in doing, but at the same time, you have to be realistic about being able to provide for yourself, right? So if everyone could live their dream, we'd all be celebrities, we'd all be rock stars, we'd all be Batman, whatever it is you really like about yourself or want to like about yourself, we would be that. But then you live in reality and you can't have that. By the way, did you guys know you could do this? Yeah, that's right, you didn't know. Going down. Woo! I think we missed him. Let's get our slice ammo out, sticky ammo out. What is he doing? Concentric ring attack. So your question, could I be a pianist? It all depends on what you're best at. It depends on what you're willing to live off of. And especially it depends on if you're better at piano than other people. That's probably the biggest thing, is whether you're better at the piano than other people. It's very important that you are if you want to be a pianist. What's going on in the M&M universe? What? I can't click on that link. It lets you click. Whoa, I didn't know moderators could post links. That's kind of a big deal. I had no idea. I'll have to remember that. Alright, we guarded it. Does this shoot through the shield, by the way? It does not. Crazy. What are the most iframe weapons if we don't count the counterattack from longsword? The most iframe weapons. Well, the longsword. You just said we don't count the longsword, but the reality is you do because that's part of its moveset. So actually you do need to count it. The longsword, I'm trying to remember. There's different types of rolls. So there's the regular roll that like the hammer has. And then there's the hop. Think of like switch axe, lance, and gun lance. They have a hop. And the hop has a lower iframe than the regular roll. So that's also very important to point out as well. I believe the light bowgun's little side move also had a special timing to it. I can't remember what it was though. Can't believe these hammer users aren't using more. Alright, that wasn't smart. Where's he gonna be? Oh, he's way over there. There we go. Sword and shield back hop. Yeah, the back hop has an iframe to it. It's actually pretty small, if I recall, the back hop iframe. Yeah, it's not as long as you'd like it to be. Oh! Piano, much like other instruments, are best taught young. As you get older, the ability to learn gets harder and harder. The pianist from Yes said he learned at 16 and he was amazing through practice. Nice. Yeah, the point is to combine your dreams with a sense of realism as well. I think there's two sides to pursuing your dreams. People are afraid that if you don't pursue them, that you will not accomplish them when you could have. And then there are people who are afraid, you know, if you pursue them, that they'll fail and then you'll be set behind in life because you were pursuing a dream that was unrealistic from the start. So there's always two different perspectives on it, and nobody really knows how things are going to work out for you. But I would say one of the biggest indicators is actually your skill level. If it turns out you're actually more talented with the piano than the average person, and you know it, then that is a good way to know if you should become a pianist. Just check your skill level. Isn't that crazy? It's actually kind of an obvious answer. It's what businesses do. It's what schools do. They all check to see how good you are. Businesses want to know if you're good. If you are, they hire you. Schools want to know if you're smart. If they are, they want you at your school. That's how it really works, guys. This is why when it comes to accepting immigrants, every country asks the same question. The United States doesn't ask this, but it should. Every country wants to know how educated you are and what kind of job you do, because they want you to have a high-skilled job, and they want you to. They don't want you to be a burden on the tax system. Every country asks this, and the United States is one of the only advanced countries that doesn't actually require this. The United States mostly allows immigration based on if you already have family here, which is ridiculous. That's not a good measure. Best measure is that somebody is educated and has a good job. Those are the best measures, so that we have a competitive society. Very important. Competitiveness is very, very, very important. Ooh, he gonna smack you? If you decriminalize every drug, doesn't mean everyone will immediately hop on them. Someone doesn't do a drug whether or not it's legal or not. They do it because they wanted to do that drug. Right, but I think you're ignoring the obvious conclusion that everyone's made, where if meth was available in every grocery store, you would expect your society to do much more meth. And that's not something you really need any kind of data for. It's just really obvious, right? Like you can go to the grocery store and buy, used to be you could buy Four Loko. Remember Four Loko? It was a combination of an energy drink and a highly alcoholic drink. And people were so interested in this drink, it became like a meme. It became a national topic of interest, whether or not we should allow drinks like this. And ultimately, I believe it became illegal, didn't it? I don't know if it was... I don't remember exactly what happened to Four Loko, but people realized if you make a drug like this available, people buy it to go crazy at their parties, and it's not good. Because people were like overdosing on it. There was like somebody died from it, right? From overdose, big surprise. Combining a ton of alcohol with a ton of caffeine. It's a really bad idea. So yeah, nobody's arguing that there aren't good side effects to decriminalizing drugs. But the question is, who gets decriminalized? The people using the drug or the drug dealers? That's probably the biggest question. Should we decriminalize the drug dealers? I absolutely believe we should not. And for people who want help, I'm pretty sure all they have to do is walk forward and be like, I have an addiction and I need help. That already exists. So when you talk about decriminalization, you're actually not talking about, you're talking about being able to get it from your drug dealer without being in fear of being caught and having your drug dealer caught. Because your drug dealer is a shady guy because he's breaking the law, and people are like, well, I don't want him to be a shady guy, I just want to buy my drugs easy. I want to buy my drugs easy. And people then make a complex argument that, well, it'll be good if you can buy your drugs easy. And other people say, as a counter argument, they say, well, if you can buy your drugs easy, you're probably going to do more drugs. And that would be the obvious outcome. John Doe says, thank you for the advice. Yeah, what I would say, John Doe, is go home, have a clear pathway for a career where you're not a pianist, but then spend all of your free time, all of it, 100% of it, playing the piano. And really ask yourself, can I play this for 12 hours a day and not get bored if I did this for 20 years? If that's true for you, you are going to be a great pianist. If you think that in 20 years you might get tired of playing the piano for 12 hours a day, you probably want to pursue a job that you could do for 12 hours a day and not get bored. And that's the best way to think about it. Because if you're going to get bored, when it comes to playing the piano, it's not like a business job where you could easily move between jobs. You're either going to be a successful pianist. Where's this guy going? Hold on. When you're talking about being a successful pianist, you're talking about a very, very competitive style job, which is why you're nervous about it, right? If I told you to go into business, you'd be like, you wouldn't even need to ask the question. But you're curious about pianist because it's actually a hyper-competitive job, right? It's kind of like being a musician. Oh, sorry, Silver. I knocked Silver out of the air. It's kind of a hyper-competitive job, and you're worried that you might not be good enough at it. So it really just comes down to, can you do it for like 12 hours a day? In my opinion, that's a really good indicator, because people who can do something for 12 hours a day and do that for like years on end and not get tired of it, people that can do that, they end up becoming the experts at whatever it is. You know, that's just how it works out. You spend more time on it without getting bored, you're going to be the best. All right, let's go ahead and grab more ammo. We're out of ammo. Oh, can't travel. Far cast away. My teammates can deal damage to him. I think my fingers would fall off if I played piano for that long. Gotta do it, man. Gotta do it. I play video games for like 8 hours a day. I've been doing that like my whole life. I don't have... My fingers aren't falling off. And it's a very finger-intensive kind of job. And it was one of the reasons why I knew I could get into YouTube, because of the actual very heavy amount of time I play games without getting bored. And it's not... I realized... It was funny. It took me a while. I realized that this is not something that everyone can do. Not everyone can sit down and play the same game for 3,000 hours, 4,000 hours, and not get bored of it. But I'm like that. That's distinctive for me. And also, I talk a lot. So these were two skills that I knew could lead me to have success on YouTube. And it's the same way when you're picking a job. If you want a highly competitive job, such as a pianist, you want to make sure that you could play the piano for like 8 hours a day, and do that for like your whole life. And then that will make you the best at that job. You will be the best at it because you play it so much. And that's a really good indicator. But if you're concerned you could get bored after 4 or 5 years, then you need to consider maybe a slightly different job. Maybe in a similar field if you really enjoy music, but something a little more realistic. Uh-oh. I just caused a KO and people aren't here to take advantage of it. Gameconomist, are you scared of Fatalis? Nope. Not even a little bit. Fatalis is going to be turned into a Fatalis hamburger if he comes into Iceborne. He's going to be turned into a Fatalis hamburger. Don't stop till your fingertips are bleeding. That is the correct advice, actually. Kind of like people who play ballet, you know, they do it since they were a little kid, and they just do it every day. And then a select few get to become famous for it. Just a few. But it's like those people who become those people who get selected, it's because they've been doing it their whole life. I think people are concerned about whether you're naturally good at it. I think actually a better indicator isn't whether you're naturally good, it's whether you're naturally interested. This is a different measurement of, can you do it for 8 hours a day without getting bored. It's a very important measure of what you should be doing in life. Very important. Lord Kibigami says, I'm 40. I didn't grow up with video games. Video games grew up with me. Video games changed a lot, man. That is true. Oh, there he is. And Temporal Mantle just ended. Hi, Gameconomist. Shout out from Russia, and thanks a lot for your videos. You are awesome. Awesome, man. Russia's cool. My wife and I were joking about moving to Russia. We were learning about what parts of your country are like the warmest, and we were surprised to learn you guys actually have some areas that are very warm. And we're like, hey, let's go. Moving to Russia. Ming says, if it's plastic and not ivory, it's probably fine. Most people write on their keys for the practice anyways, but don't actually let your tips bleed. Oh, yeah. Yes. Get ready for the big explosions. So that one cluster didn't destroy them. Oh, please tell me somebody's going to help them. Huh. Cluster bombs on the Jaggies. Sticky ammo on the Leshen. My first game was drag racing on the Atari. Oh, very cool. The Atari was just a bit too old for me. The first platform that I ever played games on, it was at my mom had a prayer group she would go to every Tuesday with a bunch of little old ladies. She was like the youngest one there. Woo! I'm about to die. Any heals? Oh no. Oh, yep, there's some heals. Oh, I thought those were going to be vines. Alright, nice. Alright, and let's go ahead and get this bleed taken care of too. Oh wait, I'm going to have to do this. Where is he? I don't know where he's at. She was part of a prayer group, and these little old ladies had children who were older than me. They were already in their teens or something like that. I was a little kid. And we would be sent down to the basement to play video games in order to stay out of their way while they're doing their stuff, having their little meeting. And they had the Nintendo Entertainment System, the one before Super Nintendo, right? And we played Super Mario. I don't remember what it was called. It was the old one where the turtles, the crabs, and the what was the last one? Fireballs would come out of the two pipes, and you and Luigi, if he was even called Luigi back then, I don't think he was, would run around jumping underneath the crabs to flip them upside down. We played that. They had Duck Hunt and various other games that I never played. I just played the one Mario game, and it blew my mind. Video games blew my mind. And back then also, I got to play floppy disk games on my PC. Some real old games that I don't even know the names of. It would blow my mind if I ever got to play them again. It really would. Have you played Monster Hunter before World? Looks like you've been playing for years. No. World was my first game from the Monster Hunter franchise. However, by the time I'd started playing World, I'd already put in thousands and thousands of hours into many other games. I think I started gaming around the age of 7 or 8, and I've always just loved video games like crazy. We all do. I think everyone loves video games, but I feel like I distinguish myself by actually putting in a crazy amount of time into the games that I play. And it's just because I don't get bored somehow. I don't know how it works out. Noah Fan says Mario Brothers. So it was actually called Mario Brothers. Cool. Yeah, you know, it's funny. It took us a long time to even figure out it was a two-player game, me and my siblings. It took us a while. We're like, oh my god, you can have two people do this? That's crazy. Who are they after? They're after Silver, and Silver has the jump mantle. All the Jaggies are dead. Sorry, Silver. Hi, Gameconomist in chat. Why isn't Viable play Greatsword Monster Hunter 4U style? Do you know if it was nerfed in Monster Hunter World? Grats for your guides. Thank you for the question. I don't exactly know what you mean by Monster Hunter 4U style. In World, it just doesn't work the same way. It has a set move set, and you want to use your True Charge Slash over and over again. That's the move set in Monster Hunter World. True Charge Slash or aerials that use the same True Charge Slash button. So essentially, it's a very similar move. Monster Hunter 4U doesn't have styles. So many heavy bowgun would become viable if Element was buffed up. Unsure how they handle slicing. Well, I feel like they've decided they want the light bowguns to be the elemental bowguns. And I don't know if they should change that or what. Oh, he's gonna... Oh, Nice. Let's go ahead and get away from... Well, we'll do this. Alright, you'll notice we got knocked into him because of that. You know what? We shouldn't be shooting him in the head at all. We might cause a KO. That was very irresponsible of us. Let's shoot him in the legs to make sure we don't accidentally cause KO. We want to make sure the team gets this mount. Let's go ahead and load up our special ammo. Brrr! Alright, we're just going to stay kind of far enough away that we don't get interrupted. Look at this crazy amount of damage we're dealing. Oh my god. That's crazy. So much damage right there. He's going to go to the next area. Of course he's going to go to the next area. Look how much damage we dealt. Once again, shooting him in the legs because I don't want him to actually KO. It's piercing pod. Did he drop the bomb pods anywhere? He's going to be going to stage 4 now, right? For you, Greatsword was crit draw. Oh, interesting. Yeah. So, well then I can answer his question. It's because in Monster Hunter World, we have a skill called Weakness Exploit, which is much, much, much better than crit draw. You can easily reach 100% affinity. So you do not want a crit draw build. Like ever. David Larson says, so, when are you going to play My Little Pony Islands? Oh my god, I totally should play My Little Pony Islands. It would be the funniest thing ever. We'll play My Little Pony Islands and talk about really, like, dark, terrible things. Really, really horrible things. Kind of like the things we were talking about today. Really serious subjects. It'll be the funniest thing ever. Miguel, he says, hey, what's the best way to beat Arch-Tempered Nergigante? The best way to beat Arch-Tempered Nergigante is to memorize his entire moveset, because he's so difficult that you can't really outspace his moves. You're going to have to learn to roll through some of his moves, right? So he's going to actually track you down, and he's going to jump on you. And the only way to deal with this properly is to dodge that. You're going to have to dodge those jump attacks. And that is the truth. He's really properly difficult. Some monsters you can get away with just shield guarding and outspacing them, kind of chilling back. Nope, not with Arch-Tempered Nergigante. Also, don't miss the turf war with Arch-Tempered Nergigante. It's really important that you don't. That's gonna hurt. Oh, I'm in trouble. I got the Jaggies on me. Nice, good heals. That could have been ugly. Ow. God, I love the Xbox controller. Do you have any predictions about what Capcom will reveal about Iceborne this upcoming week? That would be pure speculation. They might talk more about acidic glavinus. Maybe they'll reveal a new ailment. We already know we're getting acidic glavinus. God dang it, dude. I feel like they probably will show us Brachydios. That's what'll happen. They'll show us Brachydios, and it's possible they show us one more monster before the launch of the game. If I was them, I would show off one more hidden monster and then let the game launch. That's what I would do. So that's my prediction. One more monster after Brachydios. So we'll see Acidic Glavinus, we'll see Brachydios, and we'll see one more monster, and then they'll say, alright, that's enough hype. Let's get our game launched. That's what they'll do. Wolfie says, I want to get into Heavy Bogan, but I don't really have a build to kill Arch-Tempered Zenjiva for his stuff. Any tips? Well, you can use Zenjiva Beta armor set, first of all. And also, you can use builds without Spare Shot. Really, Spare Shot affects a few ammo types more than others. Cluster Bombs is a great example. You definitely need the Zenjiva Gamma armor for the Cluster Bombs. Also, I would argue Sticky Ammo is pretty heavily affected by it. But if you're going to use like Spread Ammo or Pierce Ammo, you don't have to have... Oh, right, these little Jaggies are here. Let's go ahead and get rid of these. You don't have to have... Oh, I'm going to get launched. Oh, I was just on the outside of it. Sweet! What I'm trying to say is you don't have to have Spare Shot for those particular ammo types. You'll do fine... What's he doing? You'll do fine. Sorry, I'm playing. With just ammo up. Yeah, just get ammo up on those ammo types and you'll be fine. You don't need it. Oops, I don't need Fireproof Mantle. Where is he? Oh god, I don't know where he's at. I couldn't even see where he was at. Oh, snap. Poor lava owl. Favorite music style? Sad music. I'm a big fan of Nine Inch Nails and Radiohead. Those are my most favorite mainstream audiences. Giganox goes pee pee poo poo and gives birth to little Giggy. Love you guys. Oh my god. Dang, dude. Why are you guys fighting him over there? There's no ledge over there. Isaac says, I know it's arguably easier to solo most Arch-Tempered monsters, but is it recommended to solo Arch-Tempered Zenjiva? Yeah, you could totally solo Arch-Tempered Zenjiva. It will make the fight much easier. Go for it.
Uh-oh, you've been marked. The jackals are gonna make a beeline for you now, so watch out.
Ow. Oh, 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 oh. Ow. Send help. Send your thoughts and prayers now, please. Just got saved by Moxie. I'm dead. Hell to the yeah. We totally survived. Good heals. Moxie, OP. Wouldn't you agree? Moxie is the best skill. Never assume your teammates are going to do it. Always do it yourself. Last time I would have done it, but I couldn't see where he was. Well, there's still a lot of these guys left, actually. That's not good. Oh god. He's gonna jump me. Yep, told you. I think I killed them all. Damn, I love cluster bombs. They're so good. Cluster bombs are ridiculous. Have you seen the leaked list of Iceborne monsters? And if so, do you think it's fake or not? It's a leaked list, so we don't know. That's all you gotta know. Is you always take that stuff with a grain of salt. Radiohead, nice. I'm gonna fiddle with that in my guitar. You're a great company while I'm playing. Sweet. Oh, good heals, man. Who is healing? Probably Silver, if I had to guess. You know what? I'm not gonna check in the middle of the fight. I'm so dumb. This is why wide range is so important. Let's go ahead and get this. Oh, he's going for another grab. Ouch. Oh, he actually got me. Help! Help! Nice job. Damn, dude, he is really targeting me. He is all about beating me up. No! Alright, we're between it. We're having trouble finishing him off, aren't we? I'm gonna run out of ammo in a second here. Alright, we're good. Oh my god, the shield always gets me. Always gets me. Alright. Sweet, it's not for us. I'm all out of flash, and I don't have anything else. Woo! Oh, that's gonna be his side attacks. Those are crazy. Come on, guys, let's get some damage on him. It's crazy. He's not crazy at the moment. We gotta get some damage on him. Oh, I actually got grabbed. Nice, nice job. Brrr, I'm out of clusters. Lava Owl's got his temporal mantle on. That's good. Woo, that was a lot of damage. Alright, I think the Jaggies are mostly taken care of. Go. Nice job. Fight's taking a lot longer than it should. Part's broken. This guy's in a lot of trouble now. Not in the right position to take advantage of my ammo. We're just going to go ahead and shoot him in the butt with our stickies. Who's he after? Lucas? No, he's after me, actually. Ooh, we got Lava Owl too, huh? That's the end. He's definitely dead here. This is all over for him now. Time for the big damage. There he goes. Captain Blue says, have you seen the news about Monster Hunter Frontier? No, I have not. I have not seen that news. Purple Zeo says, I always found using the shield with the heavy bowguns tough because you just have to stand still, and my instinct is to move or to do something. Yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about. I felt the same thing. Brackets asks, where's the Igni spam? Nobody's using it, I guess. Alright, let's see. How long have we been streaming? We're almost at 3 hours. I think we're going to go ahead and wrap up for now. We're at 2 p.m. where I live. So I'm going to wrap up, have a little bit of lunch, and we will return later tonight. Maybe earlier than later tonight. Try and get another run in. My fiance loves watching your live stream. He learns a lot from you. Thanks for letting me know, Bear. Lord Kibigami says they should use more Final Fantasy monsters. Kind of want to fight an angry Moogle or a giant Kokobo. You know, with them having the the mounts, right? The Raider Riders. They could have a Kokobo Raider Rider. Did you know that? That would be so cool. Could totally do that. Look at that. We got 3 augments from that. Monster Hunter Frontier will be shutting down in December. RIP. Sorry to hear that. Joshua King says, do you like Star Wars? I used to like Star Wars, but then Disney bought it. Fardine Sharir says, maybe Monster Hunter GU? No, we're not going to be doing Monster Hunter GU. We're going to be focusing on World all the way up to Iceborne. We got 5 weeks left. It's going to be all World, all day. See you later, Makoto. Disguster says, have a good afternoon. You guys too. Well, I haven't said bye yet. Let me say goodbye. I got to say goodbye. I got to give you guys the wave. It's really important. Huh. Have a good afternoon. That was a long stream, man. I didn't even feel it. Did not even feel that time go by. But you know what? I am hungry, so I can feel that. Let's go ahead and do the gesture. Gotta give you guys the wave. Alright. So that's our first stream today on Xbox. I want to thank you all for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.